All right, five, four, three, two.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Big League Breakdowns. It has been a minute. We are back. We are watching some baseball on opening week here. We're going to be following the Angels and Astros game and kind of talking about predictions for the year. We'll also touch on a little bit of our plans for this season and content moving forward. And yeah, it should be fun. Already, just two pitches into the game, Angels absolutely laced one off the wall. And by the way, first start for Pirates legend Mike Burrows as after the trade this offseason. So,
It's good stuff.
um,
Good to be back. Opening day was it's been fun.
terrible.
Awesome, amazing. Don't listen to
Amazing.
him. He's salty.
Trout
Oh,
got a hold of
Trout.
one
Yeah.
little blooper. Oh
Wow.
yeah. All
Just like
right.
that, Angels first and third. And then the Angels won yesterday, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
and Mike Trout
homered. I seen that.
homered and walked I think two or three times.
He might be back.
He might be back. They were
That's all
watching the
he's
Phillies
heard.
broadcast, and T-Mac and Croc were talking about. They were like, "Man, we hope Trout has a good season this year." I think,
He's playing center field. He won't.
yeah, this is true.
I mean, the thing for Trout was if he was going to last long term, it was to get him out of center field. So the fact that they're putting him back, he's going to get hurt at some point. But yeah,
Mm.
hopefully he's good when he's healthy.
Just in time for the Phillies to trade for him at the deadline, right?
Yeah, it's not
Splits.
going to happen anymore. But,
It's definitely,
I mean, I should say he should come to Philly and take steroids. That clearly is the trend.
it's
True.
true.
Yeah, baseball is back. It's awesome.
Getting
Is
warm
it?
outside.
Yeah, you know,
Uh,
I just want to say it's like it goes hand in hand, at least where we live around here, where like baseball season, you know, comes into play. We start to get into like the 60s and 70s. It's very nice. Um, and yeah, just a vibe in the air. Also, don't mind us if we're a little distracted. Got
No, we're not.
our Michigan boys playing basketball and just
Not my
absolutely.
boys.
Sorry about that.
hmm,
But absolutely watching a travesty right now. So
Yeah, it's all right.
They,
They're starting to
yeah.
heat up a little bit.
I'm a Calipari fan, so I guess I'll take that. Though it's not like I'm an Alabama fan, but I'll play the enemy. Yeah, represent. Oh God,
you like
that's
to
what.
just hate what we love.
Yeah,
Boy was talking so much
I
crap.
mean, I mean, I think John fits this category more than Will does.
well, he's not here, so I'm his twin now, which means I gotta take the other half.
That is true. I guess I didn't address that elephant in the room. John is not
mm,
here. He's spending the night with his lovely wife as ground ball double play. But you get the run in 1-0 Angels already. Um,
Neato.
but yeah, we are not doing predictions like we did last year with the whole video and stuff like that. But we're going to discuss it here. I guess before that, we kind of should get into our plans, just because um, formatting is going to be very different for videos this season. Hence, why we're doing predictions on a live stream and not going, as crazy as we did last year. But um, the
Oh,
plan.
We got an
ABS.
ABS challenge.
Oh, ABS. Hold on. Stop the convo. Oh my God.
First time on the live stream. This was not close, I don't think.
It looked high, and
I was
that's a
gonna say.
really bad challenge by the
Wow.
Astros.
That
Like
was
that
the
is
catcher
really
too.
bad. Yeah, that
Yeah.
2 inches off. That's you lose one
Yeah,
in
that
the
was
first
from
inning.
Hop there. I don't know what the hell he saw.
No, that's
but-
from no, that was from the Astros catcher. So
Yeah, it's. Oh yeah, sorry, I was looking at the wrong.
oh, Hoppy's for the Angels.
Yeah, sorry, I was looking at Diaz. My bad.
I was probably under Diaz or
Yes.
Geiger, whatever his name's.
Yeah, it's can't have that happen. But yeah, formatting for this year very different, as we have decided to take more of the our videos are going to be much more spaced out, but there's going to be a lot of effort that go into them. They're going to be heavily researched episodes about certain topics, and it's going to be you're going to get a lot of information out of those. We're going to put a lot of effort into those weeks of research. to really, live up to that big league breakdown's name. And then, of course, we'll have these live streams, dude. We'll have these live streams, you know, uh, where we kind of just show, I think.
When we can, yeah.
Yeah, when we can. And
I think the goal is to do it once a month, like kind of bi-weekly compared to like every 2 weeks you get something. You either get the new research video or you get a live stream. But yeah.
Yeah. And that's where we'll kind of like not revert back to our old stuff, but like you'll
get this.
Yeah, we'll shoot the shit more, talk about what's relevant in baseball. Which I think is good because it actually gives us stuff on the live stream to talk about, because sometimes it is just like you try to commentate over the game, but it's not as interesting as you want to make it. So yeah, that is the plan moving forward. We're very excited for that. We have, again, we've put a lot of thought into this, and hopefully it is going to pan out well, and we'll kind of have some unique stuff out there. So yeah, looking forward to that. But I feel like we'll just kind of hop into predictions as we go, because I think, again, I'm just going to bring up different things. Mm-hmm. I feel like I have to start. We were talking pre-show about, I think there are some divisions that feel like there is stuff going on behind the scenes sometimes when like lines are put out for like win totals or like division winners, and like the NL East have to start there. Of course, maybe some bias here with like Phillies fans, but as a non-Phillies fan, I think it's hilarious that, again, the Phillies are not the favorite to win that division. And, I guess you expect a better year from the Mets, of course, than they had last year. But to say that despite all the problems that the Phillies have in the postseason, put that aside, obviously, for regular season, for them not to be like the favorite to win the division is wild to me. I just don't see how that can be possible.
I can understand all the gripe about the Phillies not being an October team anymore. People want to go down that rabbit hole or whatever because of how they've done the last 2 years, and of course how they choked in 23. But there's nothing to say that they're not a good 162 team at this point. And so that's why, like, I know a lot of predictions from non-people, so all your zip predictions, Fangraphs and all that, they're always going to factor in certain either, I guess, defensive or strikeout elements or whatever that hurt the Phillies compared to some of the other teams in the division. But from the baseball writers out there, whoever, it's just, I don't get how at this point you can even say anything about the Phillies not being the best in the division, especially right now with all the injuries to the Braves pitchers. And while the Mets are maybe better, they flipped their roster so much it's hard to say if they're better or they're just the same but very different new look. I mean, I think the Mets will be better, but I don't think they're better than the Phillies. And even with Wheeler down for what may only be a month at this point from the way it looks, I don't feel like the Phillies, the last 2 seasons, especially last year, really had extended periods where they were truly their entire healthy team. So the fact that they could win 96 wins with always at least kind of some guy down makes you think that they can handle the adversity well.
Well, my point to that was, I don't think this is a hot take, but I think with Wheeler down, the Phillies still have the best rotation in that division. Like, they're so deep at starting pitching that, like, they lost Suarez, they don't have Wheeler, and I still think, like, they have the best pitching staff right now in that division. And, like, that's part of it for me. And, like, you get Wheeler back in a month, I still think that you know what you're going to get from that infield, of course. There's going to be questions about the outfield again, and I am a Justin Crawford truther. I think he's going to be a big player for them. They finally let go of Casty in that relationship. I think, he had some good moments for them. He also had some pretty bad moments, more in the
You could have
postseason.
just stopped it right there. You could have just ended the whole thing right there.
But regardless, I think that I don't know. I think it's a little silly that they're not the
By the way,
favorites.
I haven't really looked into Pacoda at all. I was mainly paying attention to Zips this year, and Pacoda likes Atlanta a lot.
Yeah,
Well, that's the thing with it. Everyone, especially when it comes to Fangraph predictions and whatnot, are very big on their offense. And I agree. It's hard to believe that the offense has done what it's done the last couple of years, and maybe at this point to deny that it's going to fault them again um, is crazy. Of course, they're going to have Acuna for a full year, but they need to have some pitching. While yes, their bullpen looks better, especially because you have Suarez and Iglesias at the back end. Their starting pitching is such a train wreck. I don't see how, even if their offense bounces back, that they can really compete with the Mets and the Phillies.
yeah. I was very surprised. I think I said what? I think FanDuel said 85.5. I think their win total was, which to me is crazy just based off of like, you're in a division with the Mets and the Phillies where you're going to play them, however many times a season. And I just think those teams are so much better than they are. Um, Also, I think like is this not like a make or break year for the Braves? Because I think, that core has been together for so long. I think that if they don't do something this year, they probably look to do something different next year, I would imagine. Um, but I don't know. I mean, of course, you're not never going to get rid of Acuna, but like, wasn't there like this offseason talks about Albies being out and stuff like
Well,
that?
so
So
Albies had team options that could be picked up or not. I mean, was there talks potentially because he was the first one to kind of go out, but those options were so team friendly, the odds of it happening were slim.
yeah,
So I don't know how much of a difference I really see happening. It's more of, I mean, I think a big factor is kind of what happens with Jerkson Profar after this second suspension. Because if he just chooses to call it a career, which honestly he probably should, then you have that which that hole in the outfield, which can be a big way for them to try to fill it. But it's I don't know. They have to do a lot of rebuilding now with pitching because the thing that worked well for the Braves for a while is they had good pitching to begin with, and they had a strong minor league system to come in and fill in the holes and then build around the future. And they've reached a point, it feels like, where they've depleted those starting pitching resources in the minors, and now it's starting to bite them in the ass. It is literally like they're getting injuries after injuries at finally with some of these questionable signings, which they are when the players are healthy, they're great. So there's absolutely that, but now they're seeing what happens when the players get injured and they don't have a good fallback plan.
yeah. I'm just thinking of like the Michael Harrises, the Albies, the Austin Rileys, Matt Olsons. Like obviously that core has been together for so long. But if you have another bad year, and I understand that they've been affected by injuries heavily the past few seasons, but is it time to switch it up? The Braves are a franchise that um, obviously have been very successful, and I just feel like you're not going to put up with subpar baseball, especially with what you're paying these players. Um, so, I could see them maybe pivoting to something else, but the NL East again, of course, is going to be a three-horse race, and it sucks because like the not the Nationals, like I think they are like getting better year by year, but it's like they're still like so far behind the rest of the competition that I don't know like if their window is ever going to be a thing with this group because again that they're competing with these three teams and like even like the ooh, nice steal there on second, almost a strike him out, throw him out. The Marlins actually, like again, last year weren't all that bad. You maybe expect them to be around the same win total ish, but like it's just God, man, it's got to suck for those teams. It's like, what do you do when you have like three great teams in that division? I feel the same way about the Rays in the AL East. Like, like it sucks. I mean, like their team isn't even bad. Like they
Mhm.
are a solid team, and they're the fifth best team in that division. And like, it's not quite like that for the Marlins or Nationals, but they're just three just powerhouses in their division.
The thing with the Marlins and Nationals, is they both feel like organizations where they can't make the next leap right now. I thought the Nationals could potentially show signs of doing that last year, but they had major pitching issues, and then they started trading some of those guys away. So the fact that Gore's gone, I think, is a huge sign as to
Yeah,
they're not really seeing themselves in it now. And I feel like if they had taken a step last year, given the way the Braves are injured to start off this year and the Mets have a new look, if they had continued to try to push the pedal, they could have potentially gotten up to third this year, and who knows what would have happened in the next year or two. But now they lifted their foot off the gas. I think it's only gonna bring them down more this year. And with the Marlins, I mean that's always been the Marlins' agenda. It feels like their last year results feel like almost such a fluke because they had so many young guys, new guys that no one was aware of, and they had enough good pitching still around, but some of that pitching's been traded away now.
yeah.
There's a decent chance, I guess you could say, that Alcantara could get traded this year, and they may just find themselves as trade away. They just trade away pieces again. Now I know for at least the national sense they have a new GM that started last year, and whatever. So they are definitely in a transition phase or a weird gray area, and the Marlins are always in a weird spot. So,
Oh
there you
no!
go. That's a run.
Threw it
Well-
away.
Wow.
Angels being that one, Bobby. That one is on Ohapi.
Yep, that one is on the happy.
He was looking into his crystal ball, and it was a half inning too early.
Yeah, every once in a while I leak the script just a little too early.
You
That's
gotta,
okay.
Yeah.
oh my God, you gotta eat that, man. Like, it was never even gonna be close.
Right. No, it's a hey, our team sucks. Let's try to get it out. So anyway, so that's kind of the 2 cents there is they just continue to not know when to push it, and the result is they trade away right when things could go to the next level. And I think what you said with the Rays is spot on. I don't think they're a bad team, but they're just in such a good division, and how they've played the last couple of years, they're probably bound to be the last place team again. But it's it's not out of the question to say that you could have 5 teams in the AL East this year that have winning records.
No, I know. Well, we'll get to them because that was the division I had the most problems with. Of course, I always do because those teams are so good. And
John
the
would like me.
the Rays are like the worst team in the division, and we've said it for so long. Like they're always about 500 anyway. Like it's crazy.
Mhm.
But yeah, like I said, the NL East is definitely to me it's a two-horse race, but I
Yes.
just don't see the Phillies like going to my actual predictions. Let me see. I'm gonna bring it up here.
I was gonna say I'm ready for the time when me and Tyler overlap way too much. We realize we have a similar brain.
So
This is the fun part.
I had the Phillies sitting in first. Oh wait, sorry. Yeah, I had the Phillies sitting in first at 93 wins, which is 3 wins back from last year. But that's only because I was giving some wins to the Mets because I had the Mets in second with 88 wins. I had the Braves going 80 and 82. I had the Marlins going 72 and 90, and I had the Nats going 71 and 91, which could be pretty generous. But I don't know. I seen those teams like I said, I feel like they're gonna improve, but they're still not gonna be anywhere close. But yeah, it's very. I mean, kind of what you'd expect prediction wise. I feel like,
No, yeah, we're in the same ballpark.
Yeah.
Just a few win differences, I think, on the back end mainly, but because I have the exact same order as you. I'm not going to give in the wild card teams yet, but yeah, I have the Phillies with 92 wins, Mets with 87, Braves with 82, Marlins with 75, and Nationals with 64.
yeah.
So that was the main difference. Was I thought you were a little generous on the Nationals, but
which got me in trouble last year because I think last year I want to say I had them at like 75 wins because I really thought they were going to take a jump last year.
Yeah.
And again, the problem is when you give teams a win, you got to take them away from other teams, and I don't necessarily believe that they can compete again with some of the top teams and not only NL. Oh my God, we missed an open lap. Not only the NL East, but the National League as a whole. So yeah. I don't know. It's not probably not going to happen for the Nationals this year. Like even really touching
A
500.
few years
but-
though. A few years.
I mean, there were talks even they may be trading away C.J. Abrams. So, like, at what point do they trade away James Woods with the hope they get another haul like they got for Soto?
Yeah. I mean, then it just gets to the point of who
Trade him to
are
the
you-
Dodgers. Might as well just get it over with.
Who do you want to build around? Like, I guess is the question, and it's just tough. Like I said, because it's like you have this core right now, but like, when is the window going to be closing for the other teams where you actually have a chance? And it's like it might be when these guys I have now are like in their 30s, and like at that point, are they still going to be good? Like I don't know. So
Yeah.
yeah, not for me. Also, not getting the wild card yet, but like I said, Phillies definitely I have winning the division. And just like I keep it reiterating, I'm surprised that I'm having this conversation. It feels like it was a couple years. Like the NL East always feels messed up because when the Braves were in their heyday, it was every year with them too. They were never the favorites, and they would win every single year. And I was just like, I don't understand why they're not the favorites. It makes no sense to me. But yeah, and then I guess we can move like kind of right along to the NL Central because we took a lot of time.
I was gonna say just do the AL. I would say do the AL.
AL East, yeah.
Why not? The way the conversation was flowing.
Yeah, we can do that because the AL East again was the toughest one for me. As the Angels, by the way, get out of that jam. So 1-1 after one.
Lucky bastards.
But yeah, man, it's like the AL East is tough in a couple ways because you have so many teams, obviously, that are on somewhat equal, level. But then, like the injuries, you have to take into consideration with the Yankees, with like Cole. When is he gonna come back? That's tough. The Blue Jays, like I guess
They're a little banged.
yeah, I mean Santander, I guess, just is not going to play for them. Like it looks like he's going to be out for most of the year, and of course, they lost out on the Kyle Tucker sweepstakes. They lost Bo Bichette, but they surprised us so crazily last year. They did bring in Dylan Cease. Like it's just the whole division is like absolutely a mess. I actually kind of want to get your opinion on it first because I want to see if like I'm being an idiot.
Well, what do you want to know first? Do you want to know what my rankings turned out to be, or just need my input on teams?
Yeah, I guess a little bit of both, but like overall, like I mean, who did you have winning the division?
I'll just go through the predictions then, and then explain a little bit. So first, whether it's a shock or not, I have the Red Sox winning it at 94 wins.
Okay.
All right, what did you have that? You just weren't sure.
Yeah.
Well, so part of it was I remembered our conversations before, especially entering the postseason last year, about how the Red Sox felt like, regardless of all the like drama there was between Rafael Devers and then of course now in the offseason not getting Bregman back, but we were saying there were a lot of signs that the Red Sox were kind of in position to take the next step in the next year or two, and I still feel like that's the case, even though maybe offensively they didn't really do much, but they have a whole ton of pitching,
Dude,
and they could absolutely trade from that depth to get someone later on. So I have the Red Sox winning the division at 94 wins. I have the Blue Jays second, 89, Yankees third, 87, Orioles third with 83, and Rays last with 78 wins. So again, they're around the 500 mark, but I didn't give it to them. But the main thing is I was back and forth a bit with the middle three teams, Blue Jays, Yankees, and Orioles. Really Blue Jays and Yankees. My thing with the Orioles is I do believe they got a lot better offensively, bringing in Alonso, Taylor Ward. I think the Grayson Rodriguez trade, while I know it was shocking initially, there was always that little voice of, all right, the Orioles know something. And
Yeah.
it seems pretty clear now that they were absolutely right with that. So, while it may just be 1 year of team control, who knows if it's enough, if how much it'll really help, if it'll be enough. I don't think it'll be enough. But, I mean, whether you saw it or not, Ty and Bobby, but I noticed right before we started there was a article that the Orioles have extended Shane Baz for 5 years. So they're already locking him down, thinking he can be someone, which he can be, but he's dealt with injuries, so it's not 100% given. But anyway, but I think that's the issue though with the Orioles is they have the possibility for some very good pitching, but it's very lopsided, inconsistent. A lot of question marks. If a couple injuries happen, they could
Yeah.
fall apart. I mean, they don't have Bautista for, if not the whole year, like everything but maybe September in the postseason if they make it. I think Helsley can bounce back. Maybe might not be quite as sharp as he was uh, 2 years before 2025 with the Cardinals, but I mean, I think he'll be better than he was last year, especially better than what he was with the Mets. But other than a couple, maybe other names, Cano, Kittredge when he gets back in the back end, they don't really have too deep of a bullpen, though they have the guys to fit the right spots should they do their jobs. But starting rotation, they have a bunch of guys that can be really good number twos or number threes, but I don't think they have really a set ace. Bradish would be the closest because of his Tommy John, or
Yeah.
because of what he did before Tommy John, but this is his first full season after it, so it's not a given. Um, Same goes with Eflin. He had injuries last year. Um, so I mean they pulled it off in the 2010s, having rotations that had a lot of really good twos and threes, but no ace and could get to the championship series. But I think in this situation, it's going to be what hurts them. And between the Blue Jays and Yankees, I think what you said before was right. It's really going to come down to how much do some of these injuries hurt the teams. And I just decided that I thought the starting pitching injuries to the Yankees hurt them more than the Blue Jays. And I think the fact also, I didn't, whether this is me just missing something or not, the fact that Luis Heel isn't going to be starting this season with the team, I think, does hurt it too. Not saying he should have, but knowing the type of performance he gave the previous 2 seasons, even though he was hurt for some of last year, the fact that he can't be doing something like that for the full season, I do think hurts what they have there rotation wise. So, everything will still ride with the Yankees with Judge, and I'm not going to try and predict whether or not he gets hurt. He's Judge. He'll be fine until he's in the postseason. Then he'll choke.
I mean, the thing about their roster is it's mostly the same, right? I mean, like,
And they were tied for the best record in the American League. Remember that. It might go in the end. Everyone keeps saying the Blue Jays had it. They both were 94 and 68. The Blue Jays just had the tiebreaker. Is that a goner?
that might be off the wall, or is it gone?
No,
No,
Crawford
it's
box.
long
That is
gone.
Long gone. I thought it was a Crawford box shot.
Josh Lowe.
What the heck, Houston? I should have put you where I put the Rangers in my predictions.
Yeah, I think that, you know, I'm trying to even think, like, the Yankees, like, they have a new shortstop, right? So you have that. Well, you don't have Volpe there.
They have a much better defensive
Yeah.
shortstop.
But then again, it just comes down to the injuries, because it's because there's no, I think Rodon is
Cole,
out for-
Rodon,
yeah,
Clark Schmidt.
yeah, like they're really banged up, and like even if those guys come back and say, like, you know, May or whatever, you
It
know,
might be June, I think, July. It's
Yeah.
fairly late.
it's just like, all right, where are you at that point in the season? Like, you know, they're going to come back. I'm sure there's going to be some rust anyway for some of those guys. So, like, I don't know. But, yeah, I was kind of asking your opinion first because I also went with the Red Sox, and that felt like, based on last year with the Blue Jays having all the success they had, the Yankees, as you said, I mean, they had the same record. But the Red Sox, you know, you want to talk about, I was talking to the Phillies about, like, the pitching depth. the I don't know if the top end talent is the same, but the Red Sox might have the best depth in the entire league. Like they have a great starting five. They have Johan Oviedo, who they just got from the Pirates, who's like I think he's a solid. He could be a solid 4 or 5 for most teams. Um, and they have this great lineup, and they still have Houck out. They still have
I mean,
uh,
Hauk's like out. Like, isn't he going to be
yeah,
out for like basically a long time, if not the
like
whole season?
Cutter Crawford too. But I'm just saying, like in terms
Mhm.
of like these are
Yeah.
guys like on your roster, and like your rotation still looks really good. Losing Bregman, of course, is big, but I think you're going to see Roman Anthony take another step. And I just really like their team overall. I have them at 96 wins. I have them going 96 and 66. I have the Blue Jays in second at 91 and 71. Yankees in third at 90 and 72. Orioles, this might be a little high on the win total now that I look at it, but Orioles at 86 and 76, and the Rays at 75 and 87. Taking a tad of a step back again, just because I was giving some wins to the Orioles. Um, but yeah, now the it wasn't so egregious the lines on this one because like the Yankees, Blue Jays, and Red Sox basically are all in the same kind of range for the division. I think the favorite is the Yankees, followed by the Blue Jays and the Red Sox. But um, to me, again, like the win totals make a lot more sense than like say the NL East, where I was
Mhm.
pretty confused. So
Yeah, no, I mean, it's going to be interesting. Yeah, I mean, the fact that the Blue Jays and Yankees both won 94 games last year, when thinking of how many wins I thought they'd get, I had to decide how much of a step back I thought there could be. I'm not sold on the Blue Jays rotation. I think they have a lot of guys that have shown periods of being really good and even aces for a full season, but also those guys have been inconsistent. Mainly, I'm thinking Barrios and Cease. I'm still not a huge Cease fan. I think he's good in the sense of I like pitchers that stay healthy and pitch a lot of innings, and he's been doing that.
yeah.
But I don't think he's consistently someone that can be relied on as an ace, as he will have periods and seasons at times where he is absolutely an ace, and then they'll have long stretches where he is like really, really bad, and that's where he gets his like 4 ERAs from. But then he'll have a season or two where he figures it out most of the time. Aside from the 1 year, like 2022, and he had an ERA in the low twos, but he'll have ERAs in like the mid to low threes. So I think for him, if he can get an ERA under 4, obviously that's the best bet. But I don't know if that's a guarantee. Um, but even that being said, bringing him in with what they have with Gosman, Barrios, over what the Yankees have, even though I think the Yankees have a better rotation once they're healthy, it's just a matter of what it is once they're healthy. Um, and I don't know. I feel like things kind of worked out in their favor a little bit last year with the Orioles flopping the way they did. And the fact that the Red Sox will get better, I think therefore that's the win totals will fall for them, both the Blue Jays and the Yankees, that is.
So I guess my question with the Blue Jays is how much does losing Bo Bichette affect them, right? So like, they get I mean, it works out in the sense that I mean, Ernie Clement now gets the second base role with Jimenez moving the short,
So,
but
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I mean, you're losing, an all-star at that position.
Well, so the thing is, I think you lose more. Losing him potentially hurts more from a clutch standpoint because he is with the high batting average he would get. He would be a table setter, but also he had great numbers of runners in scoring position. He'd knock in runs. So not having him ahead of the heart of the order is going to obviously mean potentially less opportunities for them to drive in runs. And his replacement Nakamoto, regardless of what he does, he's not going to be as good as Bichette was with runners in scoring position. You obviously have a huge defensive upgrade at shortstop with Jimenez because anyone, it almost sounds like, would be better than Bo Bichette at shortstop. But I don't know if how great necessarily of a defender Akamoto will be, but I can say at least that I don't think Akamoto's going to have like off the charts offensive numbers transitioning at least in his first year, but Bo Bichette was a low to mid 20 home run guy, and I feel like that's realistic to think that you're going to get from Akamoto. I just don't think you're going to get the RBI total, and you're not going to get the batting average, and so that's where it will hurt some.
Nice play.
Yeah, nice play by Moncada and across the diamond. Got him. Hey, man.
Hey, look, it's someone at third that's not Anthony Rendon.
Great. Well, I mean, you act like
that's
he played
typical.
anyway. I was gonna
It's
say.
just having a season where, hey, Rendon's not on the team anymore. It's like, ooh, that's nice.
I mean, there might be some people who is. You think there's someone out there who like didn't know that he was honestly a member of the team?
No,
Like
there's
a very
someone out there
casual
that,
fan.
no, there's someone out there who's going to be like, oh, he'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Oh, we got another ABS challenge coming.
Let's see how far off this one's.
This one looked like a strike.
Yeah, this one was close.
It looked like it was on the
Apple
corner.
TV. Can we stop with the inertia?
Yep, that was on the corner.
Yep.
See, Diaz, that's how you challenge.
Yep. See, could learn a thing or two. How are we? Real quick, I do want to derail us a little bit because we're never really going to get another chance to talk about this. How are we feeling about how it's hella early, but we saw a lot of it obviously in spring training? How are we feeling about? Oh my god!
Nice.
Oh, we
play.
got it. Good play. How are we feeling about ABS and kind of its usage? Again, I don't know, man. I'm biased here because of the Phillies broadcast, but they were talking a lot of, they were bringing up a lot of really cool stuff last night during the show, and they were saying they were kind of trying to decipher, like, okay, well, what's the strategy that gets involved with ABS? And like, obviously, like you're gonna pick your calls about
Ooh,
like,
actually,
you know,
I got a
what's a
little bit
ball
here.
on a strike, whether you're a pitcher and whether you're a batter and a catcher or whatever you see, but like at what points is it a good idea to use your challenges? Like for yesterday, for example, the Phillies were up 5-0, so they were kind of talking about the idea of like, okay, well, the batters probably don't need to use any of the challenges here because they had all their challenges at that point in time. So they probably shouldn't use any of their challenges, even if they think one's off, and there were definitely a few. And you know, so they were like, yeah, you should leave it all to the pitchers. I mean, we haven't seen a lot of that yet. I have a feeling we're probably going to see some of that, but I mean, just general thoughts and what we kind of think it's going to end up kind of evolving into.
So the short version is I still think it's great. I love that it's here, and I have no issues with how it happened in spring training. I think at the start of the season, you're going to be a little bit more hesitation on when to use it, even though you just used it for the past month, because now things actually matter and you can't just test stuff. But MLB made a post on their social accounts on opening day, I believe it was, that gave the numbers for ABS challenges throughout spring training. What I remember was it was over 1,900 total pitches that were challenged. 53% were overturned. So there's that for starters. In the end, the majority were overturned. The more interesting one, I think, is that of challenges made by either catchers or pitchers, it was overturned 60% of the time.
Oh no. Good help for Trout. That was actually a good throw. All right.
For pitchers and field or catchers, it was overturned 60% of the time. And for batters, it was overturned 46% of the time. So the short version then to what your question is what I think it'll evolve to is, or at least what it should evolve to, and I'll use the Phillies as the example again, is I think you're going to have certain players are going to get the okay to use it whenever. And that's mainly going to be like Kyle Schwarber, Bryce Harper, and that's not even just stars, players that have a really good idea of the strike zone.
Like I feel like Stott's going to use it a ton. Like
Stott, I think, will reach a point, but Stotts has at times where in the past where he looks like he's been arguing pitches that were on the line, and so I don't think he'll start the season that way for the team. But the majority, also based on how the spring training ended up, will be used for catchers and pitchers. So I do think it's safe to say that what'll happen is when a team loses a challenge 7 times out of 10, let's say, that challenge will be saved and used by a catcher in a key spot, because The catchers are the ones that truly, I think, know
Oh
the
my-
zone the best. They're behind the plate. They're setting themselves up on the line. They know hitters are better than pitchers are when it comes to claiming it, but like pitchers, they're at fault in the same way of they have their idea of what a strike zone is and don't truly see everything
Yeah.
in front of them. So therefore, there's going to be times when they're going to be like, "Oh, that's no way. That's a strike on the outside," and it's like, "Well, you were just off the plate more than you realized, and so it was a strike." So the catchers are going to have the best eye, and that's who's going to get it when it really matters. But it's all going to come down to, in the end, just whoever your best people are when it comes to using the challenges. They're going to have free for all. Everyone else, they'll probably have to wait till a certain point, maybe after the fifth inning or something, and they'll only try to call it or use it on egregious calls where it's like way out of the zone, absolutely no way, or maybe a key spot in the game, men in scoring position, you think you walked and you got struck out.
I want to ask a follow-up question to that, because you were talking about the kind of the strike zone and talking about, like, Stott has a tendency to argue balls that are on the line. Do we think it now matters so much more now that players kind of know their own strike? Oh my God, he's gonna get it! Yep.
Nice play.
Wow. The Andros defense that inning was crazy because they had the first two
great.
plays. Then the play before that, the guy at second base saved a run from scoring by keeping it in the infield, and then this one. Wow. Nice play.
Great stuff all around. So I wanted to ask about, like, so think of, short ass Jose Altuve and also like Aaron Judge, right? Like two complete opposite ends of the spectrum of kind of, you think they are able to kind of recall like kind of what is being favored, and do you think that matters in their ABS challenges now? Like, calls that they would get versus not. Like, do they think that's something that they think is going to be more of an advantage for them, or not enough to make a difference? Like, what do you think?
Wait, what do you mean by calls favored, you were saying?
Like, so, they will know
Like,
that,
there's
like,
a-
there's certain parts of their strike zone that they know that, like, okay, if it's a little bit at this point of the zone because I'm bigger or I'm
Right.
smaller or whatever it is.
I guess, yes. Then in that sense, like taking opening day, because I watched like half of that train wreck. Aaron Judge. So Aaron Judge, I know from years past, this area of the strike zone that tend to expand on him was the knees.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah.
Because of how tall he is, right? And so therefore, because of that, he's probably looking to challenge balls that are lower more than higher. But I believe even in his first at bat, if not his first couple at bats, he had pitches at the top of the zone that were called strikes that did not look like they were strikes. But he probably wasn't thinking about that. I also think the top of the strike zone in general is just going to be the one that's hardest for players to adapt to, or the one that they'll try to seek out more, because especially hitters, the top of the strike zone is always a lot lower to them, it feels like, than it really is. And so that's the one, at least looking at a broadcast, when it hits the top of zone, you're just like, that pitch is like 3/4 in the strike zone. What are you doing up? But yeah, I mean, I do think there's a chance that players like Judge, who is used to getting a lot of balls called out of the zone below the knees, will look towards that, and that may affect their perspective. And Altuve, it'll probably be the opposite. It's higher pitches that get called strikes. And he's like, no, I'm short. Like, I know for the Phillies, Brandon Marsh is someone that he gets a lot of high strikes called against him, and I think that's because he squats down quite a bit.
Yeah, that's
in
his stance. Yeah.
And so therefore he sees stuff as he gets a lot. But I think they are wrong more times than not on the high pitch. At least ABS, at least the strike zone on TV makes it seem that way. So, but he's someone that I guarantee he would look at high strike zones to overturn, and that can make him be blind to other spots.
Ty, I do want to appraise this too. I just want to add one more thing. I think there's an interesting opening now for a certain type of like archetype of baseball player that is just like a pure nerd, like who might study like the way pitches fall and might study that, and their own at bats. I mean, like, and because then I feel like you can almost kind of memorize certain parts of the zone to a point where I'm shocked by this. We saw a lot of like 0.1 inch challenges that worked, right? So I feel like you can almost like I have a better feel and a better sight for how the strike zone is actually going to be, because it's so exact now, and it's not a judgment call from the guy behind you. I mean, obviously, if you don't have the challenges, it doesn't really matter, but like when you do, and you kind of have that extra set of skills behind you, or just, memorization on you, I feel like that's something that's worth something. Like, I mean, I don't think we're even going to be seeing people talk about that part as much, but I feel like we need the iPad kids to start memorizing shit, because like that's where I feel like this is going to work for a lot of batters. Even like guys like, Mike Trout, who just hit a lovely single. Good to see him swinging the bat again. Guys like him, guys like power hitters, maybe not so much, but like for guys who are just really just trying to get on base, like the platoon guys, I feel like that might give them just a slighter edge to win out jobs.
I mean, I've always felt like since electronics or whatever became a thing with or video and the strike zone, with reviewing video and seeing what a strike zone is, I've always felt like players have gotten better and better at calling at knowing what the strike zone is, but the umps haven't changed. They're the ones that I felt like are, I'm not to say that they're not all looking at that type of thing, but I've always felt like they've seemed to be more like sticklers when it comes to adjusting their strike zone when the strike zone became the thing that was on TV all the time. So with the ABS thing, I think now it could be more interesting, just because I do think umpires will now. I mean, I'm not to say always, because they're probably still keeping their mind. Hey, there's a challenge system. If I get it wrong, they'll let me know. But it might help the umpires now that, hey, there's the strike zone and we're enforcing it, match the players more, and it could be a bit more interesting when it comes to how many calls then are more accurate. Because, like, for example, 2 different scorecards I've seen so far from the start of the season, like the opening day scorecard was horrendous. If you saw it afterwards, there were so many missed calls. I think the strike percentage was like 73% accurate, 77% accurate. Like, that's atrocious.
Yeah.
You take the Phillies game, though, from opening day, I think there were 5 or 6 calls missed the whole game. Like, ball accuracy was 97%, strike accuracy was 93%. And so I think it's possible it gets more towards that, where you only have then a handful of things that get challenged. But I don't know. It will be a whole adventure experiment to see how things get favored. But there will always be a challenge, I think, that gets held back to be used sometime after the 7th inning. That's just going to be a strategy that's universal, regardless of anything, trends, not trends, and whatever. And then you'll have stuff like what Diaz did for the Astros tonight and use it in the first inning on an absolutely horrible call to challenge. Okay. But I think that's ended the bet.
Yeah. They look good for a second. So, by the way, before I give my take on this, did I miss something? I do. Did I miss something, or did the Angels have 2 errors?
Yeah, so the one was the catcher.
And then the botched ball in the
third.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that weird ball in the outfield, yeah. I
It's a
didn't know they
single
scored
error.
the second error. I looked over and
Well, it was a single in an air to get him the second.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, that's weird. So my opinion on this is kind of with Will is that thankfully it's here. It's going to be utilized. My whole thing with it is like, I feel like as soon as we get, a critical bad call where a team doesn't have a challenge and, there's a terrible call, everybody's going to be like, we need a robo-ump still. And like,
Oh, we still do, but this is fine in the meantime.
I that's where I'm at. Like, I think this is fine for the meantime, but like I'm kind of almost ready for that as well. I mean, it's a whole it's going to be a whole strategy thing for these pitchers, because again, what we were talking about, like, sometimes an ump, that he might be favoring a part of the zone where you can get an extra, 0.2 inches, 0.3 inches on, like, excuse me, one side of the plate, and like pitchers would abuse that. They would continue to hit that, Like, you don't have that chess game anymore with that, and not necessarily that that's like a good or bad thing. Is this one get down? Nice play.
oh, nice catch.
But like, again, I just hope it, like, God, man, watching the World Baseball Classic and that pitch that USA beat,
bro.
like,
Well, the Dominican Republic in general, for like their last 2 games, got calls brutally, like,
yeah.
called against them.
I just feel like we're gonna get a call like that when a team doesn't have a challenge in a critical spot, and then just everybody's just gonna be like, yeah, we need to take the next step. That's my whole thing on it. But I'm happy
Well,
at least
so-
we have something.
So I think what's going to happen is what Bobby was kind of talking about last year when we were talking what ABS would be like this year, is that you're going to get growing pains with it and whatever. So what's going to happen is instead of going full on with a robo ump, what will most likely happen is if something like that occurs, and it will. What do you do to add to the ABS system? I still think the sweet spot that could potentially be landed on is that you get 2 challenges for hitters and 2 challenges for pitchers.
Yeah.
It might seem like a lot, but honestly, it's like if you don't want to go full robo because of the argument, which I'm not going to get into about whether or not that takes away umps jobs.
They should have
just
done a
give-
better job.
But just give the players options to use the challenges, but know that they can lose them. Then I mean, they have you're basically giving the players all the power to say, hey, we can overturn everything if we know what we're doing, but if we screw up, then we get penalized for it. Because I mean, yeah, like even when they added the pitch clock, that got adjusted after the first year.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
and mound visits.
Pitch
got
clock was
changed.
welcome. That was a welcome change. The ABS, I definitely.
But it wasn't
consider
even
controversial.
It's a different type of. I think it's who that was targeted for the controversy. I mean,
Yeah, boomers hated the pitch clock. They
I mean,
hated the pitch clock.
I still don't love the pitch clock as a whole. There's still things I'd like to adjust time wise, but I've gotten used to it and I knew I would, so I'm just kind of like whatever. I still am fine if it's a 3-hour game, personally. But
I'm not complaining.
But I mean, well, like that's beside the point now, and it doesn't really matter because I know it's not changing, and everyone now after a few years has gotten used to it enough that violations are rare, and if they happen
Incredibly
now,
rare.
they're almost like done on purpose. So
Yeah.
it's whatever, it doesn't matter, and everyone's happy and fine, and I know in the end it's still going to be baseball. So that's beside the point. Whatever, but because like that, there's micro adjustments as the next year and things went on. I think something like that's gonna happen with ABS. You're never gonna go full robo ump. It's all about, or at least not full robo ump anytime soon. It's all going to be about how can we add on or tweak the ABS system to give more challenges, so that to prevent a situation or situations like you suggested, Tyler, from happening.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that there, again, is going to be the growing pains. But overall, like I said, I do believe that it is the right thing to do. And the one thing I am like a little worried about is I seen, wasn't there something about like, because like a glitch happened earlier in spring training?
There was one game where a glitch happened, and the rule was if the glitch happened, the call in the field
Ball
stood,
stands.
which makes sense.
Right. I just, part of me that then questions the legitimacy of the fucking ABS then. Like,
I
you know,
mean, the percentage value of like, glitches versus non is probably going to be like 99% in favor of like it worked every single time. It's probably going to be like less than double digit amount of times that it broke, which would suck if it happened on a play that might have decided the game. But again, it's either that or humans are in full control. Which one are you going to trust? That's
And
the
I'd rather have a glitch that
Yep.
that helps 99.9% of the time. And if it does it every once in a while, so be it. That's fine. It's a sacrifice I'm willing to take.
We need to make this clear, especially since I work in IT. Technology is not going to work every time, you fucking bozos. It's going to be weird every once in a while. It's not the technology is good enough where it won't happen nearly as often, but it will happen, and it's just it doesn't make mistakes at a it makes mistakes at a lesser rate than humans ever will. That's the whole point. It's not gonna be perfect, and it never will. Let's get that out of the way real quick. Sorry. This conversation sometimes is annoying because they black and white this too much. Of like, of like, oh well,
You're
it
never
doesn't
gonna
work.
get perfection.
Technology's in baseball. Yeah,
You're never going to get perfection. You just want to get as close to perfect as possible.
correct. Right answer.
Which I think this, I think this solves the problem for now, and we'll see, how much, that they change in the future with it.
Yeah,
but
I'm not sold on full robo umps yet. I'm not completely sold on the idea.
Like I said, I'm still 100% for it, but I'm fine with the if with an increase in ABS and then just kind of leave it at that because of giving more control. I think that at some point they will definitely split up challenges between hitting and fielding. I just think at some point they're going to decide, right, and it might be something where they give 3 challenges to a team, but like one as like guaranteed to each, and you have like one that's kind of like a wild card. I think that's going to happen, and because of that, like it also is, that's just going to be what it is. That's just going to be the best way, and I'm fine with that because again, the robo ump all the time will give you like 99.99999% perfect accuracy, but it's all about getting as close to perfect as possible, and having the robo umps having the ABS will bring it a lot closer to perfection than what it was before. So I'm happy with that.
Real quick thing, they took away that error in the outfield for the Angels. So just
Okay, can I go on another tangent now that I was talking about before? All right.
Yeah, go for it. Sorry.
I want MLB to create a new fielding stat called team errors. And what a team error is when you give an error to a play that is clearly not something that the ordinary fielder would do. You just don't want to give it to a specific player. For example, yesterday's opener for the Pirates, everyone now knows that Paul Skeens had a horrible first inning. If you looked into it a little bit, which I feel like a good amount of people did, I don't know if most people did, it was O'Neal Cruz's fault. ESPN.
Yeah. The headline that I got on my phone when that was actively happening was, that would be an error, Mister.
No. That one is an error. That would not count what I said.
The headline that I got on my phone when the game was actively happening and Skeens had a really bad first inning was an absolute nightmare for Paul Skeens, and it's just like literally,
it's not completely his fault.
No, it's just so much easier to get the clickbait, I guess. But anyway.
So with his inning, the short answer for those that don't know is he gave up, I believe, 5 runs and was taken out after 2/3 of an inning. But the reason it's O'Neal Cruz's fault is there were 2 key misplays he made that eventually led to Skeens' early departure. And at least one of those plays I would categorize under what I said as it would be a team. You give an error, but you wouldn't have to designate it to him if you don't want. The first ball that happened that you could argue about, but I'm fine leaving it as kind of an odd triple, was he went in on a ball that was hitting the outfield and it went over his head, but it was so far over his head that I don't think he would have caught it. It just probably wouldn't have been a triple. However, the next situation was a fly ball to shallow center field. He ran in and lost it in the sun, and it dropped. And it resulted in a double and more runs scored. This is to help with situations like that where there's no way in the world a shallow fly ball should be a double or is a double. It's happening because a miscue is going on. Granted, in that case, the miscue happened because the sun got in his eyes. But it's not a hit because it's not like a normal situation. It would result in a hit. In a normal situation, it would have been an out. So therefore, I feel like there should be some type of a fielding stat that acknowledges the play was an error, but it's not necessarily a single fielder's fault. And so it would also help on situations where you have pop-ups in the infield that fall in between all the fielders and you can't give it to a fielder. It would help with miscommunication fly balls in the outfield that fall in between outfielders because they don't know who's going to catch it. Just situations where you cannot name a specific player as 100% at fault, but that definitely under normal conditions is not a hit.
Yeah, because what that does, it eliminates a lot of the BS stats. So, like again, Skeens probably shouldn't have 6 runs or whatever it was to, or 5 runs, whatever it
But
was.
it'd be like
his-
2 or 3 runs.
Right, and then
I mean, this is the exact equation that FIP is trying to solve. Like,
And
this is
again-
that type of thing.
and again, like it's stupid, but like
But even, all right, so, sorry to interrupt, Ty, but
Yeah,
just
you're fine.
another thing about that is one of the things I hate too is it feels like the error in baseball means nothing nowadays.
right.
Like, errors have just gotten so lopsided with how they're recorded that, like, in general, it's hard to really understand. Like, what's it like? Things that should be errors are called hits nowadays, and it's like they're using StatCast because of a certain like percentage of a chance that or because the ball was hit 100 something miles an hour. There's this percentage it should be a hit, even if it's right at the guy. But also it's just how if you therefore don't give an error, it's going to hurt pitchers' ERAs. Like,
Yeah.
By
By the way, that no play was not an error. By the way,
and that's part of the argument. That
yeah, I
absolutely
know. That's why I'm saying
is
it
an error.
now.
An average shortstop should at least be able to, you would think, if anything, block it and keep it in front of them. That one was just played horribly, and probably, I bet you, if you looked at it, it's going to mainly because the ball went off the bat at like something over 95 miles an hour, and they're going to say, therefore, the probability. Right. And that's how sabermetric, in that sense, has changed the fielding aspect of it in another of baseball in another way. That was a heck of a throw. So it's just, I wish baseball would get their grip when it comes to handling errors. It's not going to happen from a scoring thing because they care about increasing batting averages too much. But it's just, I just wish there were better ways to tighten up fielding records, and one of them is preventing stupid situations where a hitter gets credited for a hit when some stupid like situation happens that either they can't control or just really bad miscommunication.
My whole thing too is like, I mean, this is like a deep cut, but like, dude, a guy could win like the batting title because he might have like 3 more balls that like got into the sun got into the fielder's eyes than somebody else. Like, you know what I mean? Like that seems like wrong. And again, like getting a hit for something like that. Now, my caveat to this is if you lose it should be an error on the player.
That was terrible.
If
By the way.
they lose the ball in the sun and they're not wearing sunglasses. O'Neal Cruz, you fucking moron. So that's my only caveat. But yeah.
I mean, yeah, even I know times from experience,
Sample sizes.
it helps. It helps, but it's not a given. So
No, I know. I'm just messing around. But like,
right.
but
Sorry, I know we're also talking baseball, but I am glued to this Duke St. John's game.
I know.
This is great.
You're about to get big league breakdowns in college basketball real quick for a second.
Listen, we started this channel with football, so
I mean, if we got to the point of
Oh!
God damn it,
foul him. Goodness.
God damn it.
Cam missed free throws in the Sweet 16. Sorry to tell you.
Well, it's not even that. I wish they got the rebound.
Yeah.
Because if you're gonna miss it, you
on
better
a
get the
fucking
rebound.
tear, baby.
Well, that was not really an issue because, like you said beforehand, Alabama was shooting so many threes that it's all about streakiness, and you hit a dry spell with threes and you're screwed, and it seems like that's what happened.
Man, if
Anyway.
I need to make a second channel just to argue, just to rant about modern basketball because it drives me nuts and it's
No, we're
spreading
so
way
good
too
at
much into the
threes.
college. Like,
Just not as
importance
many.
of a 3 is ridiculous to me. But whatever. Anyway,
It's boring.
Back to baseball.
All right. Yeah. So that was the rant I needed after all the defensive stuff that was happening in this game. It just made me think.
Yeah, I know I derailed our prediction. Sorry about that.
No, it's fine.
That's
We
fine.
did.
We need
As long as we had good conversations, they're fine.
that's fine because we want to probably split this up throughout the game anyway, and we're only in the 4th inning, so
Hey, the
that's
Manford
probably
game.
good.
We're not even halfway through our predictions, and they're almost halfway through the game.
Yeah, so let's head over to the NL Central. Again, feels like a good point since we were just talking about the Pirates. Yeah, we were talking pre-show about the NL Central, and you know what? I've done it for the last 2 or 3 years. I'm not falling for it again. I'm taking the Brewers this year, and I don't care. I honestly don't care if they win the division. I will not be the one that says they're not going to win the division, and then they win the division. That's all I'm saying. So,
Amen to that.
because I'm done. I'm done. I'm done with this team and predicting them to. I had what, like 70. I had them at like 70 something wins last year. They had like 20
really
more wins
bad.
than I said.
Yeah, it was really bad last year what we predicted.
Yeah, like I understand. You know, Freddie Peralta's not there anymore. I think they got some good pieces for the future. I don't know.
And now Jackson Churio, what, broke his hand?
Yeah, he broke his hand, so like he's going to be out. I think the lineup's still good, but like,
Yeah.
obviously some questions there. But I don't know. The Cubs are going to be the other team, for sure that could definitely put up
Hit
a
a
fight.
three. Hit a three.
Back to basketball momentarily.
God, we got 10 seconds in this game. Oh.
Hit it.
Oh
separation.
yeah.
Oh,
Oh
yes.
Missed everything.
Oh,
No.
he bricked it.
Oh no, you can't have that.
That was it. That's it. All right, I lost this game. I felt good, too, for a lot of this. I had St. John's beating Duke. Damn it. I don't feel like Duke's been doing that good for the last, like, month and a half. I feel like they've just gotten lucky late.
They lost one of their better players to an injury, so yeah.
And now they got him back, and guess what? They got lucky.
Yeah, the Cubs are going to be good. I mean, of course, when you get a guy like Bregman coming in, it's going to make your team better. I still have a lot of questions about their team, though. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think that... What does that sound? Am I losing my mind? Sound like somebody's, like, banging on something.
I don't hear anything.
I mean, Marcus got people over, so it might be her, but
No, it sounded like... I don't know. It sounded like somebody's, like, clapping or something. I don't know. Anyway.
Your dog, Frankie, clapping?
Frank, you back there? No,
yeah.
I think that, again, it's going to be a two-horse race, but I just can't go against the Brewers. I have them... I had the Brewers, again, dropping in win total. I have them at 91 and 71, but I still think they're winning that division. I had the Cubs in second at 90 and 72. The Reds in third at 83 and 79. Pirates in fourth at 77 and 85. And the Cardinals in last with 67 wins. Yeah, I don't know. I just... The Reds, I think, didn't... I mean, they got Suarez in. Like, that's a big help for them offensively, but now they're without Hunter Green for an extended period of time. I don't love their staff. I was all about Terry Francona last year, and I still think that, you know, his managing could get them more wins than they probably deserve, but I still think they're about that 500 mark right now. Because just, I don't know. Again, Suarez, a great piece to get in, but I just need to see a little bit more from them, I think. The Pirates, you know, did they make some good acquisitions this offseason? Yes. Like, I do think that O'Hearn coming in, I think that Brandon Lowe coming in, who already yesterday proved his proved his worth early with 2 home runs, like, that makes me feel good. But having said all that, they just, I don't see them competing long term unless they call Connor Griffin up in May and he ends up being the greatest player of all time. That's the only way I see this team going over 500. So, you know, that's I feel like I probably overrated them last year, and this year I'm back to their, you know, I'm not letting my bias play an effect on that one. But yeah,
I want to derail this one more time real quick just for a short thing. So they're doing a player interview right now, which I'm famously against here. This is the best way to do it. Do it with a guy who's not actively involved in the fucking game. Like,
Yes.
a starting pitcher who's not this is fine. This is totally fine.
Yes.
Holy Christ. Like, you could even use the term dugout guest instead of live player interview doing a regular season game with a fucking outfielder who needs to pay the fuck attention, or a shortstop. Like, fuck me. Sorry, go on. I just wanted to point that out.
Rant's over for Bobby.
Yeah.
no, I mean, that's all I had to say. I think I'm interested to see. I mean, we kind of talked pre-show, Will, so I know where you're at. But like, I'm more interested to see where you are with the Cubs because, again, I think getting a guy like Bregman improves your team. But there's still some things with them that I'm not like completely 100% sold on. So I don't know. Like I think they'd probably get a wild card, but um, yeah, like their pitching leaves a little bit to be desired. I don't know.
We're probably the talking point's probably gonna be in a different spot, but no. So I have the Brewers winning the division with 93 wins, the Cubs second with 90 wins. I have the Pirates third with 80 wins. I have the Reds fourth with 76, and the Cardinals last with 72. I did think about whether or not I would flip the Reds and Pirates many times, and if I flipped them, I was just gonna flip the names. I was keeping the records as they were. Um, as for Brewers, I'm the same situation as you, and so that's that. The Cubs, I think the biggest concern for me with the Cubs, even more so than some of the pitching things you were saying, is that their offense bottomed out last year in the second half. Like, I just remember the thing about the Cubs, they were so hot offensively for the first 2 months. It was like this is the year Pete Crow Armstrong was turning into like a godsend of a player offensively and defensively. And then like after the All-Star break, or at least in the heart of summer, they just collapsed.
Yeah.
Like they were in a good spot, so it didn't matter, but they just were a shell of a team offensively. So
Oh my
hey.
God. That's very unlucky.
That was Pitcher tips
Anyway.
it, goes off the bag. That's kind of wild, actually.
So, I think the Bregman and Tucker's switches are fairly one-to-one in
Yeah.
a lot of situations. Both come with potential injury risk nowadays on given recent years. Both put up similar offensive numbers. You probably have uh, a little more clutch potential with Bregman, and you had a little more speed with Tucker. But yeah, and there's things I do think that are decent with the pitching and better, but
I
but
should say
overall,
the pitching. I guess for me, the pitching, like it's a solid group, but I guess it's because it doesn't have the what's it called, like the name,
the it factor.
not even that, but just like I don't know what I'm trying to say. It doesn't have like that star in it, or like their number one is Matthew Boyd, who had a great year last year. Don't get me wrong, but like I don't know. It just feels like there's a little bit to be desired there. That's all I'm saying. They lost. Oh my God, I'm blanking on his name. The guy that the Phillies got from them, or the free agent, the reliever.
Oh, Brad Keller.
Yeah. Like he was,
But don't they have someone else back end wise, like a Rogers
Yeah.
or something?
Yeah, I'm just saying in terms of like that was a guy you lost, and we'll see how that plays. But yeah, I like the Cubs. Like I could easily see them winning this division, but for me it was strictly I'm not letting the Brewers do this to me again.
No, I agree.
That
I
was the
agree with
thought.
that. But the Cubs also now have Edward Cabrera, for that's one of the names it was from the Marlins, and I think that
Yeah.
could help him quite a bit.
Yeah, which is
yeah.
if he's as good as he was in MLB, the show, whatever.
Shut
What?
up! You're making us look bad. Anyway, now the big thing I have to talk about then, I guess, is why I'm willing to give both the Pirates 80 wins and the Reds 76 after, yes, we were kissing Terry Francona's feet entering last year.
I'll do it
The
again.
short answer for the Reds is I think I am not probably the biggest Eugenio Suarez fan. It's not that I don't think he has the ability to be as good as he has a couple times his career with the 49 home run seasons. It's that he's inconsistent, and is like last year he hit 49 home runs. He also batted 228 between the two teams. And so I just don't know how reliable it is that he can be consistent year after year. Now, and it is a 1 year deal, so they only need it to work for 1 year. Um, But then again, they also aren't necessarily the best offensive team in the world. They rely on their pitching, so it might be fairly straightforward as to who you want to pitch around. Pitching, I think if they had a full pitching force for to start the season, I'd probably put them in third and have them competing for a wild card spot. But I think they have too many pitching injuries. And while yes, we praise Terry Francona for how he uses pitching, I think just too many things are against him right now. And overall, in the National League Central, I feel like almost everyone didn't really do much. But the Pirates were the team that probably did the most than the Cubs. And while the Pirates do enough to compete, no, I don't think so. I know some people I think are considering them as odd chances to compete for a third wild card spot. I think their biggest problem, and it showed on opening day, is going to be their defense because they got a lot of power people, and I think that will definitely help. And they have a lot of great pitching potential. Whenever Connor Griffin comes up, I think he will do great. So I think they have a lot of the right pieces there. Not quite 100% all of the names you need or ability or whatever, I guess, potential when it comes to some of the offensive players to truly carry that team. But the defense was really sacrificed with some of the choices they made. Granted, of course, it was the home guy that screwed up on
Yeah.
in center field, not one of the guys they brought in. But still, it just shows how they were trying to go for the more offense first team and defense last, and in that case, it backfired. But hey, the offensive first teams have been what's been working under for the last 10 years or so, and definitely seems like those are the teams that do the best in the postseason. So to just build their offense the way they did, I don't blame them.
I mean,
I think it will show.
I, even as much as I rag on my Pirates, the team got better. Like, there's no doubt about it for me.
Yeah, what about the Don Kelly effect? You're not even going to assume that helps.
Well, I think that as well, but I'm saying, like, I think they're going to improve on their win total. On paper, it would seem that way. I'm just saying, I just still don't think they're in a spot to compete yet.
Oh,
Mike Trout.
My God.
He
Mikey
is
boy.
back.
My God.
He
Oh,
is
my God.
back.
Yes, sir. Oh, that makes me so happy, man.
Mike Trout for
I hope
MVP.
he stays.
No, you ready? I want Mike Trout in the home run derby in Philly this year. That would be
Yes,
something.
sir.
That was a laser.
What a
And not
fucking
even a
shot.
Mikey moonshot.
No,
It was a Mikey fishing line shot.
absolutely, just into the Crawford boxes. Yeah, man, dude, I'm all for a Mikey Trout comeback year.
It would be so. I hope he gets invited to the home run derbies. That'd be fun to see him in Philly do that.
Yeah, I mean, again, not too much else said on NL Central. I think I will say the Cardinals. I think they're going to take. They're obviously not in a position to compete, but I had them taking kind of a significant step back in terms of, obviously they're not trying to win right now, but like they also traded away like a lot of their like actual veteran players. So
Yeah, they could be a lot worse than I put them at, but I think they're
Yeah.
going to be last.
so that's why I had them down at wherever I had them, like, pretty low.
60 something.
Yeah. But let's move over to the AL Central as, this is another one of those weird ass divisions because you got teams like the Guardians who nobody again believed in last year, and they came out and won that division, granted by a game.
And because of the historic collapse by the Tigers.
Yeah. Right, exactly. But this is a weird one. I've seen a lot of Twins rhetoric that they're going to bounce back this year in a big way. I don't know
Those people are what we call idiots.
I don't know if I truly believe that yet. The Royals also kind of in a weird spot. Like, they had they had such a huge jump when they made the playoffs 2 years ago, and nobody expected that. And now it feels like we have this expectation with them, and I don't know. Like, I feel like they're kind of still sitting around, like that 500 mark probably. But what's your take on this division? I mean, I'll say this now, and you can give, I'll give my winner, and then you can give your division. I do think this is the Tigers' division to lose this year, though. I mean, that team, got better. The addition of Framber definitely helps. I think Kevin McGonigal is going to be an absolute menace. So I think that they take the division this year. But if you put the Guardians, I wouldn't blame you.
I put the Tigers.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing about the Tigers, if the Tigers didn't really do anything, I might have put the Guardians at the top, but the Tigers did make some very nice additions, and like you said, with McGonagall coming up, that's a big piece coming from the system. Um, things are fairly straightforward. You know how I flipped the bottom two, so maybe we'll talk about that slightly. But I have the Tigers winning the division with 91 wins. I have the Guardians second with 88 wins. I have the Royals third with 79 wins. White Sox fourth with 70. Twins last with 63. I think, like you said with the Guardians, they always seem to figure it out. So I'm not going to vote against them. I'm going to believe they're going to be very much in it. The Royals, their issue last year, and I kind of saw it going in, I just didn't have it hurting the record as much, was that they just did not have offense.
Yeah.
And this off season, they needed to add some offensive pieces, and they did not do that. So therefore, I think they're going to be roughly in the same ballpark as last year. I think I have them about 4 wins less. And the White Sox are the team that I actually, this might be challenged.
That looked pretty low.
Nope. He's not going to do it.
Gonna save it. That's one of those situations. You might as well save it, I guess.
Well, I mean, they have two. The Astros are the ones that lost one
You're
early.
up. I know, but you're up 4, so I guess the thought would be,
Maybe.
well,
Anyway, yeah, the White Sox actually for the second half last year did a lot better. I mean, they still were like 10 games or so under 500, but there were signs of improvement. And with the Twins now bottoming out, the Royals not doing much to get better, I think there's some signs that there's going to be life in the White Sox the same way we saw some life with maybe how the Marlins made the big jump last year, and also how at least the Nationals for a few years were showing like they were getting better. They still have a lot they need to do to really compete, but I think this is a chance where in a weak division, they can kind of be better than it seems. Twins, screw the Twins.
Yeah.
I got nothing to like about them.
Yeah, I don't know why I was saying that. Like, I mean, again, if they come out and surprise me, then so be it. But I just don't really buy it right now.
Right.
So yeah, I have the Tigers at 90 wins, which might be a little low, to be honest.
Hey, I said 91.
Yeah, but I'm looking at the AL East totals and the AL West, and I'm like, I don't know. The Tigers feel like they should probably up there a little bit, but regardless, not here nor there. I do have the Guardians at second. I have them taking a little bit of a step back at 86 wins, which then kind of gets into that conversation of, would they make the playoffs? Because now that I'm actually looking at it, I realize that I have the Orioles and the Guardians with the same amount of wins. So,
That's how crazy that division can be.
Yeah. I had the Royals in third. I actually have them with the same record as last year, 82 and 80. I have the Twins at 70, 74 and 88, and then the White Sox. I do have them getting to 70 wins this year, but
but you have but how do you have a team not being last with 60-something wins in that division, given how bad everyone is?
Yeah,
come on.
I know, but
even after what team did you sacrifice that had to win like 20 games? I mean, I know the answer is the Rockies, but why?
It's funny for my Rockies predictions. I did win totals for everybody on my sheet for the Rockies. I literally put I don't care. I don't care. Like, I don't care. how many
You didn't
have.
add it up the right way. Like
I have,
you just
No.
I have to ask a question. There was a question that was posed on Twitter today that I think Tyler is the only one who's allowed to answer.
Oh no.
Here we go.
Dude. Sorry.
Do you think if the Broncos had 162 chances, well, let's make it better. If they had 80 chances to beat the Rockies in a Major League Baseball game, do you think they could get at least one?
No, but that is a funny question.
It is a very funny question.
Oh man. Yeah, I thought you were going to ask if the Broncos had Bo Nix, would they be Super Bowl champions? The answer would be yes, but that's not where you're going.
What about
with that.
Drew Lock? What if they just kept Drew Lock?
That's true. Should have kept Drew Lock. Yeah, no, that's here's the thing. The fact that was posted is so insulting to that franchise, but they deserve it.
Oh,
you're
goodbye.
gone.
Jesus.
You're done. More like you're gone.
On you.
Nice.
Thanks.
What a
I'm
hit
happy
by
about that
Alvarez. Good. I'm glad you can sleep at night, Will. I'm very happy.
I hope so. I'm exhausted with how much I've been working the last few days.
You both, brother.
Yeah, I probably should have sacrificed, as you said, the White Sox or Twins to get a little bit less wins, but I don't know. Like, not that I believe the Twins rhetoric, but I think I got swayed to giving them as many wins as I did, to be honest, and I don't know why. But
The team I probably should have dropped to give wins in other spots were the Cardinals, but like, spoiler alert, but I didn't give the Dodgers 100 wins, though I should have, just because I've done that too many times and it didn't work out. Plus, the last couple of years, there's questions.
yeah, I didn't give any teams 100 again.
I do think I gave the Dodgers the best record in baseball, though.
Yeah. Should we go? I guess that's a perfect segue to go over to the NL West. You set that up perfectly. Yeah, I mean,
This one's weird.
yeah. So, like, the Dodgers, of course. Excuse me. The Dodgers are going to be the Dodgers. They're going to win the division. I hate them. Everybody hates them. Dude, I think the Padres
I'm
are
just
low.
bored with them now. I don't even have hate. I'm just bored because it's just like, all right, just give them everyone. I know. Like, if the Phillies did it, I'd feel happy. But being that I'm part of the other 29, I'm just like, all right, just whatever.
Yeah. The Padres, to me, is like a team that I feel like I've liked the past few years, and they've done well, and I like them again. But, like, what's your thoughts on them? Because they've had change. God, that's a home run in a silo. But yeah, what are your thoughts on them? Because I feel like to me, they're the second best team in that division.
I still like the Padres. I mean, I like the additions they made. I don't think some of the injuries, especially or pitching loss, will hurt them as much as I originally thought. So I still think their bullpen is fantastic.
Yeah.
So I think just overall, and I also think their division's weird. I mean, like you said, the Dodgers are the Dodgers and the Rockies are trash. The Diamondbacks just seem like they're keep taking steps back.
Yes.
And the Giants, while they want to take steps forward, I don't think did enough in the offseason to really add on to the stuff they had last year. And so therefore, they're probably in the same ballpark, if not slightly better. But so I think the Padres benefit from that too, as that player just absolutely gets wiped out.
He almost broke his neck. So I was on the same boat as you in terms of, like, if the Padres were gonna take if there was a concern, it was maybe what they lost in starting pitching. But then again, like, I don't know. I like the additions they made this year, and I think they're the best. They're probably going to be the best non-division winner again. If I had to guess. Like, I think they probably beat
So
out
you're
the
saying
Mets
they're the
again.
first? You think they're the first of the wild card? Is what
Yeah,
you're saying?
I think that. Yeah, that was that was a very weird way to word that. That's exactly what it is. But like, what I was trying to say is like, I do think they're better than the Mets. I
I
think
agree with that.
I think they're not better than the Phillies. They're not better than the Dodgers. I think they're probably on par with the Cubs or Brewers.
So I have the Cubs at 1 game better. So, but yes, they're roughly on par then.
yeah. So I don't even know if I went down. My list was I have the Dodgers at 99 wins. So I didn't give them 100, but I did give them 99. I gave the Padres 93, which is weird because now that I look at it, I should never do win totals. This is where I
No, you should do win totals, but you gave way too many wins, given how many wins are actually there in the season.
I know, but I'm also looking at it. I'm like, well, now I have them with more wins than the Brewers and the Cubs. But yeah, I have them at 93. I had the Giants at 81 and 81. I had the Diamondbacks taking a step back, like you said. I did not like the offseason that they had and what they've done. I have them at 75 wins. And then, like I said, I have the Rockies that I don't care. But for the sake of my predictions, I'm gonna give them like 35 wins because I need wins back. Because I need wins back. So I'm taking it from them.
Oh God. Okay. Wow. No. Anyway. I mean, I have the same teams listed as you do. I have Dodgers with 98 wins, Padres 89, Giants 83, Diamondbacks 76, and Rockies 49. They don't crack 50.
Yes, yeah. I just, God, man, that's such a beautiful stadium, beautiful, jerseys even to an extent, colors. That team just sucks so bad.
They can't get consistent. They can't get good enough pitching, and the pitching is so bad that everything else just falls apart.
Yeah. It's just like free wins for everybody in that division, which maybe that's why I had the Padres at whatever 93 wins, but yeah, man, like I do really like the Padres, as you said. I think they're in contention for last year, especially. They had one of probably the best bullpen in the league, which helps a lot. And Mason Miller on the back end, we've seen how dominant he was in WBC. He should have pitched in the championship game. We might have had a different result.
I just realized I'm an idiot. It took me way too long to realize this. I kept saying Calipari when talking about the Michigan game. Calipari is the coach of Arkansas. This is Alabama. I don't give a hoot about Alabama.
I was going to say something, but I let it go.
You made me look like an idiot.
Sorry about that.
Give me Alabama!
But, I mean, similar colors, though. I mean, the Alabama red and Arkansas red.
Yeah.
But,
the Crimson Tide or Razorbacks. Come on.
Let's go.
Oh, yeah. Woo!
Back to baseball.
Back to
By
baseball.
the way, Chase Silsouth replacing Higuchi in there.
Chase Silseth. Interesting.
Don't know who the fuck you are.
Silseth sells seashores down by the seashore, down by the seashore. Silseth sells seashells.
You know, it's funny. Like, there's some names that like I don't pronounce correctly, and like I kind of feel bad. But then Will, who like watches and talks and listens to baseball more than everybody I've ever seen, sometimes still doesn't know players, and I'm like, okay, I feel a little bit better. He'll be like, there'll be like a guy that comes up mid-season. He's like, who the fuck is this guy? I'm like, okay, so I'm not crazy. Like, I didn't know who that was either.
I mean, if you got, 26 players for 30 teams?
Yeah.
And if you want to go a whole 40-man roster for 30 teams, that's 1,200 names. I can only do up to a certain point.
We should test how far that is at some point. We should test how far.
I've done that at times, but I don't feel like I'm as. There's some years where when I really looked at teams too, when it came to like predictions and what was going on, I started to really know names when it came to bullpens.
So
Problem is nowadays I can't really get you bullpens for anyone, so therefore I get at most like half of like MLB rosters.
If I were to ask you if I were to ask you the starting lineup of it, or well, and not necessarily in order, but like the starting lineup of any particular team, how far do you think you'd get?
Not very far.
No, okay.
Well, the thing is, I could get I could get you probably a majority of things, but I would definitely draw holes in certain areas. Or I could say like last names or something. I can give you like rough ideas.
Okay, so how far can you get with a team like the Dodgers?
Well, Dodgers, I think, is pretty.
Dodgers I could do.
I know.
just
I
have
want to
would-
see. Like, I don't want to ask on the Phillies because he obviously knows the Phillies. So
Right. I mean, Otani DH, you get Smith catching, Freeman at first. I assume, Muncie's still the third baseman. Edman, I guess, is the second baseman this year. I mean, they sent down Kim again.
at least he has like.
And Betts is at shortstop still.
Someone's coming.
Yeah, Betts is at shortstop still. Tucker's in right. I assuming Pages is going to be center field and Teoscar Hernandez is in left.
I'm gonna fact check you just because I'm kind of.
I'm just curious.
Well,
I'm not even like trying to heat check him. I'm just curious.
No,
Edmonds the only one I'm kind of what the heck.
Oh,
they have Rojas
Barely.
listed at second.
So they don't have Edmund at second. That was the only one I wasn't
Right
sure, but that
now.
one might be a platoon.
Yeah,
So-
probably.
Like Edmund would play versus lefty or righties and Rojas versus lefties. So, second base was always I feel like kind of the unknown.
Yeah.
But and eventually Kim might come up again too. But So I could to an extent I could do it. But yeah, there's going to be teams where I just draw blanks. Like I don't think I could do even half of a Rockies team, and
Dude,
I don't.
to be fair,
maybe
even I
half
don't
of
even think the
Athletics.
Rockies can do half of a Rockies team.
Yeah, well, it's like this guy from a beers league. They got this guy from a car insurance.
Like, all right, do you work for Airmark or do you work for the Rockies? Are you a player?
Anyway,
I think it's crazy, dude. Like I talk to Bobby about this all the time, like off air, of course. That nothing relevant to baseball. Back in the day.
Oh, there he goes.
what a
again? My goodness.
We gotta
gracious,
work
and he
on our
didn't catch it.
we got to work on our tosses from the catch.
Man, there's just no pop on this guy.
Dude, when I was a kid, my hockey knowledge was so incredibly, extensive. I legitimately back in the day, I think I could name almost every player on every roster in the league, and there's about 26 players for those rosters as well. Now it's nothing. Maybe a little bit less.
I'm a little better if you were like show me rosters. I can and I see a name for some of the ones I don't know. I get a rough idea of like the type of player they are, but I just can't always name everyone off the top of my head.
I mean, I pride myself in knowing a lot of football now. Like football is my sport now, and I can name some random special teams guys that would be like, how do you know that? But then, like, again, baseball, like, there's just some guys that come up, you're like, where did you come from?
Yeah. There's even some of the guys I don't know how to pronounce their names. I at least kind of know who they are.
Yeah.
Like you saw him
Yeah.
on like a sheet from some time ago. Like,
Or like, yeah, I've read their name before. I just how to pronounce it. I'm just go whatever.
What is that pass? Okay.
That was beautiful. He led him.
That was scary.
led him.
That
Got the ball.
was a little too close to kick it. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Oh yeah, top of the key.
Nope.
Weak.
Oh my God, we're having a fucking snooze fest on the floor.
So to quickly wrap up the NL side of it then, because I think that's all the divisions. So my 3 wild card teams are Cubs, Padres, and Mets in that order. So therefore, from a record sense, the way a playoff picture would look in my book would be Dodgers with the best record, Brewers with the second best, Phillies, and then Cubs, Padres, Mets.
And then mine, in order, are Padres, actually Cubs, Mets. Okay. Yeah, Padres, Cubs, Mets is what I got.
So same teams, just different orders.
Yep. Yeah, again, on paper, I'm like, now that I'm looking at this, I'm like, yeah, Mets maybe more wins than the Cubs, but I don't know. I think they're about even.
No, I don't think I think the Cubs are better than the Mets. I think the Mets just have a lot of wild cards with their pitching is the thing. Their offense has got a lot of capability, even though it's a lot of here and there put together stuff because they traded away a bunch of guys. They basically went fuck the core. We're going with something new. Um, but pitching wise, yeah, I mean after last year, that what worked in 2024 did not work in 2025 from a starting pitching standpoint. And for the most part, it feels like they're doing it again. But of course, the big difference is they have Freddie Peralta leading the way, which they won game one with him, but it's not like he did his part. Which is another thing about the Pirates. It's like they lost the game, but they lost 11-7. I mean, they came back and made it interesting. It was just they were in too much of a hole.
I mean, yeah, for as much bullshit as what happened in that first inning, they actually made it pretty competitive. Go, Elliot. Oh,
What the fuck?
he got flattened. He might be hurt. Ooh,
Wind got knocked out of him at least.
that's not good.
Okay. American League, because this is a baseball podcast.
I know, I'm
we're not
sorry.
distracted.
Dude, there's two
You guys
minutes
are
left.
winning by 12. You
I've
can
been-
ignore it.
I've been mostly good all game.
Yeah,
But
right.
we're
Sorry, I'm bringing it back to the baseball thing.
You're
I
good.
did not realize Joe Adell hit 37 home runs last year. Jesus Christ.
yeah.
Hey, that's right. This Angels team was truly all about, hey, home runs and nothing else. And everyone was, and up to the All-Star break, people were like, they're
Solo
gonna
home
do
runs.
it.
Solo home runs.
It's like, nope.
So yeah, we'll move over to the AL West for our last division here.
I definitely gave the Astros too many wins. I'm just going to say that now.
Mr. I did this all the right way and blah, blah,
I
blah.
did, and I mean, in the end, I'm still probably fine. But just watching this game now, I'm like, what was I thinking? And it's not even like I gave him that many wins. I'm just like, it's too much.
Yeah. Yeah, I have to admit, actually, I didn't do the only division I didn't do win totals on is AL West, and now this is going to be weird because I'm trying to figure out who I want the third wild card to be in the AL.
Well, I'll start. So,
Yeah.
well, to make it easy, then in that sense, none of the wild card teams I have coming from the West.
Okay.
My wild card teams in order are Blue Jays, Guardians, and Yankees. So,
Okay.
like, you don't even therefore have to worry about the West. Now,
Yeah.
my thing with the West is I have the Mariners winning the division with 96 wins, which I also have being the best record in the American League, and I have them winning division by over 10 games.
Wow.
So it's their division. I feel like to lose for so many reasons. Their offense is better than it was last year when the season started, and their pitching is still the same. But their pitching's always been very good, and even last year there were points when it wasn't as good. So things still worked out. But I still feel like if we had to go down, I don't know yet if I would have them be the AL representative in the World Series because I didn't think that far because I simply said the Dodgers would win it all. But I have the Mariners with 96 wins, Astros with 85, Athletics with 81, Rangers with 75, and Angels with 65.
Angels already might get two off the rip here.
Right. I mean, I debated what to do with the Athletics and Rangers again, because the Rangers, I know everyone loved them last year. I said y'all were idiots. I was right.
Yeah, you're
So, like, I don't get why you guys were falling in love with the Rangers. I don't even say you guys as in anyone in this podcast. I don't remember what you guys said. I just thought it was.
I had them winning the division last year.
I just found that crazy given what their offense was the previous year or what their pitching was and based on their offense the previous year. I just had the numbers wrong about why they were what they were. I thought the offense would somewhat figure its old form, but the pitching would suck. And the pitching was some of the best in baseball somehow. That I don't believe is going to happen. So therefore, I am no longer going to fall for their offense anymore. I don't believe their pitching is going to be quite as good as it was before we found the biggest hole in the field just now in this game. Like no one was on that side of the diamonds.
Nope.
So I just decided that therefore they don't have nothing. And the Athletics I do like. I just think their pitching I have a lot of question marks. And am I even 100% sure I blame everyone that they have. I do think they need more in the starting pitching department. I think it's just the minor league park is so bad that it messes with stuff. Now, granted, the second half of the year, the Athletics are one of the best bullpens in baseball, but over a full season, I don't know. They might get over the hump this year and get above 500, but I don't think they'd be enough to get into the postseason, especially with how some of the teams look in the AL East.
So, yeah, this division is a little bit interesting. The Mariners, I definitely have leading the division, and to be honest, well, actually, I'll wait on that point because I want to have a conversation about the Mariners. So again, I don't have win totals, but I'd have the Mariners first, the Astros second, A's third, Rangers fourth, Angels fifth. Um, yeah, I like the A's too. Like, what I like about them is they are improving every year, but it's still, I mean, now with Seattle, like Seattle is a legitimate powerhouse, I believe. I still think it's going to be tough, but having said that, and kind of to your point already, like, yeah, based on, oh my God, he threw that right off his own player. Based on what you were saying before, yeah, I only see one team making the playoffs out of this division, that being the Mariners. So then for me, I think it would be the same. It would be, let me check my notes real quick. It was, the wild cards would be the Yankees, sorry, the Blue Jays, Yankees, and then it's a tie for me between the Orioles and the Guardians, but I'd definitely lean Guardians if that was the case.
Well, who do you think's going to win the tiebreaker?
I just feel like, again, like overall, I have more confidence in the Guardians than I do the O's right now.
Yeah, so my AL playoff picture would then be seeding wise: Mariners, Red Sox, Tigers, Blue Jays, Guardians, Yankees. And for shits and giggles, I'll just go ahead and say that you're going to have a repeat Dodgers, Red Sox World Series, and Dodgers win it.
That'd make me very sad.
Pitching change for the Astros. Rodri Munoz, sorry.
Well, that kind of answers my question that I had. I was going to ask, I mean, are the Mariners a team to beat in the AL? And I think they are. Like,
yes, I think they are.
They did something, like they improved their offense this offseason. Like, it's
I guess. Well, so it's an interesting thing is, they compared to what they had at the start of opening day last year. Yes, the biggest question is, do you consider it an improvement? I guess with Brendan Donovan over Eugenio Suarez, right?
It's are you going to be able to replace 40 home runs? Which, having said that out loud, is kind of crazy.
However, well, they also didn't have him for the full season. They only had him for half of the season.
Yeah, that's true.
Not even half. But the thing about Brendan Donovan is he is an on-base machine.
Yeah.
So Eugenio Suarez gives you power, but doesn't necessarily have like on-base capabilities of like a Schwarber or something. But they're clapping because
Oh shit.
golf scores. No. Anyway, but what you lose in Eugenio's power, you gain in the on-base capabilities of Brendan Donovan. I think one thing is key for this Mariners lineup is they never really had, I felt, a true leadoff hitter.
Yes.
Because they would always kind of rotate who they had, and sometimes it was Julio, and it seemed like you need to have someone ahead of Julio to get on base. So I think if you put Donovan at the top of that order, and then you have like Julio and Josh Naylor and Randy Rosarena and Cal Raleigh behind him, that's great. You have a table setter now who can get on base with a 370 on base percentage.
Yeah, I mean, Donovan was one of the bright spots on the Cardinals last year, and it's like, I guess my only question is, and why I'm pulling it back a little bit, it's like, okay, like, yeah, you lose Suarez, so you lose that power, but also, like, bro, Cal Raleigh had an unthinkable year.
Sorry, you mean the big dumper?
The big dump. Like, I'm sure he's going to be a great player again this year, but, like,
Cal and the giant peach.
You got to expect you like. I think for them to be as good as we're saying they're going to be, it's got to be other players stepping up this year because, like, yes, Cal Raleigh might be an MVP candidate again this year, maybe, but like can you expect the guy to hit 60 home runs again? Like,
Absolutely. That's it. It's not, maybe not, no.
especially at that ballpark, which I guess that rhetoric is over now. That,
I don't know. I mean, Eugenio Suarez came over as a right-handed hitter, and he only hit like a $190, though. He hit like 13 home runs.
yeah,
So, no, I think the rhetoric's still there. But the
Yeah.
two guys you brought, well, I should say you brought in, one of them was technically, in a sense, re-signed. Is Josh Naylor's a left-handed hitter, and so is Brendan Donovan.
yeah.
You're learning.
Yeah. Dude, I love Josh Neller, by the way. Just like a random thought. Like, the guy's passion for baseball is unmatched.
I just love the videos of him with the team dog. He's like
Yeah.
training and feeding the dog as he's training.
Yeah. So, I mean, if I was to give a World Series prediction, I mean, I can't say anybody but the Dodgers.
Mhm.
God, the AL. The AL, I would say either the Red Sox or the Mariners. I'd probably go Mariners, I think.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean that's kind of a chalk answer, so I don't know if that's actually going to happen. But
I think the Red Sox offense will be better than the Mariners, and because of what I keep saying about offensive numbers and postseason success, I think the Red Sox offense will overcome the tough pitching.
yeah,
And their pitching will do enough to halt the Mariners. And I still say in the National League, the team that has got the best chance, I think, to beat the Dodgers are the Phillies. I mean,
It's no one else in the NL. I'm sorry, it's no one else.
yeah, it really has to come. You really need a pitching staff that can try to not that limit the Dodgers' offense, is what it is. And the thing for the Phillies for me is still going to be they need to have a bullpen that can win 1-0 games in the postseason. Because regardless of all the losses that the Phillies have had in the division series the last couple of years, they've been leading like almost all of them at least once during the game. Now, they've had just some of them were one-run games, and you always say you got to add on more runs, which is true, but you don't want, like, you expect the bullpen at least once or so, twice to not give up a run.
yeah,
So that'll be the thing. Like, I trust the Phillies starting pitching is going to do great and limit what the Dodgers would do should they face each other. And based on my bracket setup, they wouldn't face each other until potentially the championship series. But the bullpen, while I love having Duran, and therefore it's made things more versatile in the seventh and eighth innings with Alvarado, Tanner Banks, Ryan Kirkering, Brad Keller. That's still the question mark I have: is the bullpen good enough to stop any damage potentially if the offense can only score 2 or 3 runs a game?
yeah. I mean, you also have to figure though, like as the season goes on, the Phillies always seem to add a bullpen arm at the deadline too. So
If that happens this year, it's because someone got hurt, or and I really think that's it. Just someone got hurt. This is one of the years where I can't really say I know for sure where I think the Phillies will upgrade. I think there's a lot of potential areas you could think of based on one reason or another. I think it's going to be more of a react moment, and probably, if anything, it might be more of a platoon thing. Like, you might see them do more of like an Austin Hayes type of trade again,
yeah,
where it's someone who could fit into an outfield fold. But like, I know there was always the talks of Bohm in the offseason. I don't think that's happening in the regular season, nor should it.
what a last name on this guy. Sorry.
Bro, I'm literally typing it in. I'm like, who the fuck is this
Zephyr
guy?
Zephyr John?
I guess, dude. I seen a J.
Sure.
I seen a J halfway through the last name, and I like lost my mind.
The starting pitching maybe if there's injuries, they might trade for someone to help with the depth. But from a postseason standpoint, they're set between Wheeler, Sanchez, Nola, and Luzardo.
Yeah.
And like I said, I can already name you about 4 guys aside from Duran that can handle the seventh and eighth inning potentially. So you just got to see where things falter for them. But the Dodgers, as always, they seem the most complete. We'll see what doesn't go
Ooh.
right or where injuries tend to happen.
That hurts. he just took a foul ball, I think off the thigh, but I'm not completely. I'm gonna hope for his sake it was the thigh, or maybe.
Oh,
Maybe
I was
not.
gonna say that didn't look like a thigh shot. Now, granted, that was a horrible.
Don't do it to us.
It was a cup shot.
Oh, it was in the
It was
asshole.
Asshole.
I think it was a cup shot, then the asshole. It wasn't a full-on cup shot, but it grazed it, bounced, and then right in between, right
That's
where the
gonna
sun don't
leave
shine.
a nice little bruise. I'll tell you what.
I do not want to be the trainer inspecting that.
Hey man, spread your cheeks real quick. Let me see something.
Oh my god. Oh, they're showing replay.
Why do you have that ready?
Yeah.
Apple TV. Oh,
You got a bat to the face last year.
That's crazy that happened though. Like literally,
That is
as a guy was setting up.
Whoever's in charge of recalling replays, kudos
who the hell
to
had
getting
that?
that. See, this just shows you that baseball is scripted.
Angels are kind of cruising along right now, man.
They're cruising along so slowly, though, that we finished our predictions, and we still got three
We started
freaking
in the
innings.
fourth.
You're laughing at his pain?
That's a former catcher right there, and a great one.
Yeah, I know.
He's like, oh, I know that fucking
Here's a
hurts.
question. Here's a question for Bobby. I heard this as a potential thing, and I mean this is probably so far fetched, but there have been articles I've seen that one say that they think sorry. JT was asked would he consider managing after playing, and he basically gave a not complete vague answer, but like one that made it seem like sure. Like, that would be up his alley. And there were a lot of people, of course, the pitching staff mainly, that were thinking he'd be great at it. However, I did see at least one, if not two things that had thought about the possibility of what are the odds or what are the chances, at least, that by the last year of JT's contract with the Phillies, he ends up being a player manager.
I just don't see that. I don't see that happening.
I don't see it happening.
No.
But then the follow-up to that is, what are the chances you think, maybe not immediately after Topper, but the Phillies try to keep JT around or groom him to be a future manager in the organization for them?
I'm okay if they do that. I mean, I don't like. I think he's a smart enough guy to do it for sure. I think, yeah, he's definitely not going to be a player manager. I just don't see it. But he could certainly finish his career out, and if he wants to stay in Philly. They can put him on, just as like a, fucking bullpen catcher / coach, fucking whatever, just to kind of get him started and see where he goes from there. I don't think he'll ever be manager for the Phillies. I think if anything, it would just he would do that just to see if he would actually want to be a manager or not. And he might decide this ain't for me. I'm going to go literally do nothing because I don't think he's going to be in media. There's just no way.
But, is he vocal enough to be
No.
To be a manager? I'm saying though, I'm sure he probably
manager?
is.
Yeah,
I mean, a clubhouse sense, sure. He wouldn't be like a typical media presence type of guy. He'd be really
hell no.
quiet. But no, I mean, I get the sense that he'd be a well-respected and good name in the clubhouse, and he'd probably be able to make the hard choices. Now, one of the former Phillies that I always thought I wish would one day want to be a pitching coach was Carlos Ruiz.
Yeah.
He was always praised by pitchers so much when he was catching for us, and I was just like, I hope when he retires, he wants to come back and be a pitching coach because I think he would be amazing.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I could see him. I could see that. I could definitely see it. He won't be a player manager, but he'll definitely, I think, at least take a shot at coaching. And if he doesn't, then he's gonna go fuck off somewhere else. And by somewhere else, I don't mean another team. I mean literally, he's just gonna go fuck off to his house.
South of Oklahoma.
I mean, it is interesting how many successful now catcher manager or former catchers for managers now. Stephen Vogt, and I mean,
they see so much. I mean, they're
Right,
literally
they're
the biggest
calling
thing of
games, so.
yeah, exactly. They're the biggest thing to a play caller that you can have in baseball. So
yeah, it is you see a lot of quarterbacks in football become coaches. It's a lot of the same thing with catchers.
Learn to read shit, like you do, and that goes for any sport.
And yeah, I mean, the catchers, assisting also in like setting up defenses, I'm sure, and stuff like that too. But yeah, it's just I wouldn't be surprised if that is a trend that continues.
Oh, that's
down the
never
line.
going to stop.
Yeah. Mike Trout is coming up again. I am excited, I gotta say.
Mikey moonshots.
Keep it in Munoz.
I'm so ready for this bomb.
That was one of the better Oriole games I went to. When me and Will were both in college in Maryland.
Was that the one that
with
stormed on us in like the 6th inning or something?
Yep. Yes, it was.
Was that the catch? Was it that game? Like where he like jumped the wall at?
No.
Oh.
No.
That was really early in his career. No. This was just some random game we saw at college because John was working the game, and so we could also see
And
him.
the O's were bad at this point.
Yeah, it was before they figured it out. So
Yeah, and we didn't have very good seats per se, but we were like, 300 seconds
We were
on the
at-
field side, and
They were-
Trout slammed one, and I heard it throughout the goddamn ballpark was what I remember.
Yeah.
Like it's just like I was excited to see him, and then he did that. I'm like, okay, this guy is the realest dude I've ever seen in my life. Holy Christ!
and then it rained in the 6th inning, and like we all went running back to our cars in the pouring rain.
Bro,
which
your
was
poor
like
car.
which was like a mile away. My car was
Yeah.
great because for those that were riding in it, which was actually no one in this chat, I mean, I think I've said it a million times, we were all so soaked, we basically just stripped and drove to Wawa over there.
That's something you want to admit to the world. That's hilarious.
Mile away.
Hey, you don't know who was in the car with me, but it was hilarious.
Camden Yards has a lot of things very well done in the city of Baltimore. Parking is not one of them. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's one of the things I've always said I like a lot about the Philly sports complex is
Yep.
they do parking really well so that it's all within a good spot in relation to the stadium. Now, the way that they've changed the parking flow the last like 3 or 4 years, leaving the stadium, absolute
even-
garbage. Everyone needs
don't
to
even
be
get me
fired and goes to hell because it is absolutely
Pop it.
awful and everything
God, that's
is
still-
10 times slower than it used to be. I can get home in like an hour. Now it can be like 2. Like you pretty much need to tailgate after a game so that you can, chill while everyone
Have
leaves.
your sanity. Yeah.
And Will,
It's-
don't forget, they're about to put another fucking stadium somewhere in that area at some point.
That's right. It's for the Sixers, right? Or is it for the?
No, it's for both. It's for Flyers and Sixers.
They're just
Listen, that's the latest.
well, because I remember
This
one.
has been fluid the whole time.
Well, wasn't there talk of putting one for just one of them, but like really in a weird spot downtown? It was like,
Yeah.
No,
Center City.
well, so that was a bluff. They wanted the city of Philly to cave because anybody who's been into Philadelphia will know putting a stadium in the middle of Center City, Philadelphia, is a dumb decision and should get a lot of people arrested and fired at a minimum. Like,
Yes.
it would be a dumb idea, but they threatened a lot, and that was like kind of their threat of like, well, if we don't get a new stadium, we're gonna figure out a way to get one in Center City. And the Sixers at one point were like, well, we want our own stadium. No, that's not how any of this works. So that wasn't going to happen. So what ended up happening is they finally caved a little bit, and they agreed on a new stadium for both the Flyers and the Sixers and the Wings, I guess, too. Building date TBD. Like, I have no idea.
So
what
is it going to be in
they're
a completely different spot, or are they going to close
it's
the
about the same.
Wells
No,
Fargo, or just take it?
No, it's staying in South Philly. Like they're keeping Xfinity Mobile up. Like the current plan is that's just going to be a concert venue now. Like that's it.
Okay,
That's
so they
all
need
it's gonna
something
be for.
completely new. Got it.
Yep, correct.
So
But they're
even
going to keep it in
less
South Philly.
parking is what we're saying.
Which is
It's
annoying
more
too
of-
because it is actually decent compared to a lot of other cities that
Yeah.
I've been to games to. Like,
Well, it's also the thing too. Was it just so that this is going to get really technical now? Unless you were familiar with the Phillies parking lot, that should have been a show. Was So I personally would always park at the left field gate because it's very where it should what works really well with the stadium parking is basically if you take Broad Street in, you just have a line of options between any of the stadiums, depending
Oh,
on
they
where you
did
Oh, they
choose.
challenged it, ABS.
Oh
yeah.
wow, and it was low. Wow, you suck at your job. Why'd you listen to me? I'm not a professional. I was half paying attention.
Too busy ranting about Philly parking.
Yeah.
But I park always in left field. And if you can, there are multiple spots in either side of the lot that you could use to get out, either by the casino area or take it to various other neighboring streets or whatever, or you can get back on Broad. Well, they changed the parking about 3 years ago, but I'm pretty sure when the casino was fully built.
Yeah, live.
And what used to be, you could every gate was open. You just simply decided where you wanted to go. Was now if you were on one side of the stadium, you had to go out this one exit, and if
Yep.
you were on the other side, you had to go out by the stadium or by the casino. And what became like just do what you want, don't get into an accident, which was honestly fine, has just made traffic a million times worse. And it is so frustrating because a key thing for parking seemed to be for a while you could just park near the entrance if you got there early enough to one of the gates. And regardless of like how late you left the stadium, you didn't have to fight cars as much in the lots. You could just simply boop, get on the road, get on Broadway. Still take 45 minutes to an hour to get home, but like
What a fucking
it's not that's what's usually a half-hour ride. Doubling it from a sporting event is not bad. But like if you want to park close to where you should park based on exit strategies, like you're gonna either have to walk a lot or whatever. It's such a pain in the butt, and it's just why did they have to ruin something that wasn't really that bad? Like just
will
leave
say, though,
options.
The experience though is still there. Haley just did it the other day. She went to Philly's opening day at the last minute and was able to finish that game and literally walk right over to Xfinity Mobile and go to the Flyers game right after at 7 o'clock. Like it was.
Oh yeah, no, I mean like if you
the
want to do
perfect
something
scenario
like that,
still.
perfect, yeah. Like heck,
Yep.
I mean the strategy and part of it probably was something like that, or if you just want to go walk over to the casino for a bit.
Yeah.
So it's just I'm just so annoyed with how they forced it so you had to do a certain thing because it made it so much worse. And now like the last few times I've done Phillies games, I just literally sit in my truck and just listen to the post game show for like half an hour until traffic's reached a point where I can get into the lane without having to fight anyone. And like one time I was able to get into that lane and I got home normal time, like it was great, and another time it was so much worse. It was just like a 2 hour ride home and I was ready to like throw hands with something.
This is why like I work in the city, so like I take public transportation every day. I mean, unfortunately though, because I have to go across state lines that late into the night, the train's not really an option. But it still is the best way to get around the city by a mile and a half. Like, except it has its problems, don't get me wrong, but like it is still the best way to get around the city. Driving on the Schuylkill, as I did for a few months when I started my new job, every morning was a kick in the nuts, and then they would pick me back up and do it again. Like that, like it is so bad. It just sucks. Everything about it sucks. And I should have known better when, like, the first 2 weeks of me doing that commute, like, I literally on the other side of the road, there was a fucking car on fire for no goddamn reason. It was by itself. It wasn't even like a 2-car crash that led to something weird. Like, no, this was a single car just on fire. Why? No idea, but I saw it. It just, I don't know. Driving in that city is the only problem I really have with that city as a whole.
Yeah, but I'm just so prepared right now that for when I would still want to go to both the Home Run Derby and the All-Star game.
I'm definitely going to try.
But I still just want to buy stadium only. Like when the tickets go on sale, they can sell as fast as they want. Just give me stadium only so I can float around the stadium.
Happily.
Especially for the Home Run Derby. The Home Run Derby, that'd be perfect because they could be like, I want to be in this spot during the Home Run Derby, and then if you
oh my god, no way! Ooh, it was close.
You were safe at first, but if you don't want to catch home run balls, just go chill in like a 200, 300 level spot or something for a bit.
I was gonna say the conversation we're having. All we're saying is good luck if you're traveling from out of state to the All-Star game.
What we're saying is don't come to Philly. You'll make our lives worse. So enjoy it from afar. But
I am gonna go see. I will report back. I'm pretty sure I'm headed to Truist Park for a game in about a month or so, and I'm
maybe I'll take a
curious.
Cardinals game over the summer. But anyway, no. But my point was after those games though, I'm like fully set to just be like, let's just tailgate in the parking lot for like an hour until we get kicked out or whatever. Like,
Bro, I say
forget the
less.
pregame tailgate. Let's do the postgame tailgate from the truck bed. Just relax.
By the way, real quick, Michigan State is getting flogged, and I am a big fan right now.
I was gonna say, I know we're not a college basketball podcast, but
I know,
goodness,
but oh
I
my
am
god,
happy as a whatever.
Clam.
Yeah, there you go.
I am happy as a clam. Like it is 25-6 currently.
I'm in a win-win
Halfway through the
situation.
second. Oh my god.
They haven't scored in 8 minutes and 30 seconds.
Oh my god. And I hate that's a walk. Referee.
That just happens a lot more, and I hate it.
Yeah, oh my god. I think another big rant about basketball. Bro, walking, I guess, is legal now. I swear to God. They classify everything as a Euro step in the paint now. It drives me crazy.
Joe Adele had the chance to break this one open.
I want to see an umpire see like Jazz Chisholm do the Euro step and then just call him for traveling as soon as he hits the plate.
Oh, nice fucking pitch.
I think he challenged it. I do think it got the bottom.
He did.
But
I
think
this
is
didn't
gonna
see
be
a box,
close. This is gonna be close.
It looked pretty much. I didn't think it was close at all. I thought it was right in the middle of the zone, but maybe I'm faded. No.
Yeah,
Okay. Yep.
it was basically.
Good luck.
It was completely in the zone. Horrible challenge. You're an idiot.
Did
I will say,
I just remembered something that I wanted to add to that conversation earlier. The ABS one. The stupid thing, the one stupid rule about ABS is the whole thing where the batter must do it immediately and can't make any other moves. Because, was it the spring training game where,
yes,
a guy, flipped his bat and then couldn't challenge? That is horseshit. That is so
that
bad.
one I thought. That one I thought was. I mean, I understand why. It's put there, but yeah, there's a fine line. It's probably best so you don't get any outside input in any short amount of time.
That's 100% why, yeah.
So, a bat flip seems innocent, but it's an extra second and a half, 2 seconds that it could take for a team just to send a quick signal or they look over to the bench or something. I
It's
understand what
going
you're
to
saying.
happen.
Yeah.
I said this last year.
Yeah. Well, was it team? Well, so not in the exact sense of what we were just or what I just said about telling him the hitter what to do, but at least the Brewers, if not other teams, were trying in spring training. They were holding a colored sign up to let the batter know whether or not it was an okay situation to challenge if they wanted. Period. I don't think it was based on pitch to pitch. It was just the at bat's here. Here's a green one. If you want to challenge, go ahead.
Yeah.
And they were told by MLB not to do that.
Because I think that bat flip was such a reactionary thing, and to me in that situation I watched it, it didn't seem like there was enough time at all for him to get any extra information. But you're gonna have guys that just have reactions, and then that's gonna screw them from challenging. I think that's.
I think in the end that's going to be very limited though, because I feel like people. Because heck, you saw it last year when people were just mocking umpires at times when they didn't like a call, they just touched their helmet. I think for the most part right now, when a player at least knows they're okay to challenge during the at bat, they'll be fairly instinctive in knowing they can challenge. I think any situations that you could have seen that fit more into that line probably would have happened on the front end of spring training.
Yeah.
But now the question is, where will the law or the line be drawn? Like a bat flip, yes, it's maybe a little bit, but like let's say a bad call happens and the batter like jumps in the batter's box.
Yeah.
Does that
right.
count in that sense as they jump? That's their movement. They're done, or is that the quick reaction thing, or even a squat? Like if a batter squats in the batter's box because they thought it was
Yeah.
too low. That's where then maybe
Which
the line
again,
gets drawn.
which again is baseball feels like trading a gray area, which is exactly what you don't want. That's my whole thing on it.
There's always going to be gray areas with new things, no matter how much you try to polish it before it starts, and things that you'll just have to see when it's in action. But I think in these particular situations, they're not going to be as common as we think they could be. And so therefore, I do not suspect it will be a problem. I'm also fine if a baseball player just wants to take a baseball bat, teach an umpire a few lessons who, crosses the line. But I'm not giving any suggestions or insinuating anything. Nothing. Nothing.
I didn't hear anything.
We're very violent on this podcast, I've been told.
We have no.
When I had to censor you, yeah.
God. Yeah, here's the difference between what I said and what you said. You said.
What?
I don't
And
like Bob.
I'm saying.
I don't like Bob nutting, okay? Oh, you're not
Oh,
got
God.
No, he didn't.
Just missed.
Oh.
I hate it based on the stance and the camera angles, like that ball is long into the glove. This game to me looks like the Angels are just kind of running back the same method as last year, which will work for spells, but nothing long term in the sense of if they can really get the long ball working with guys on base, great. The key is getting guys on base. But they'll hit home runs again.
Kind of curious. I actually haven't checked the other scores from the night. We'll see if there's anything interesting that happened.
I know the Rockies were playing, I'm sure.
Oh, we have to know that.
Let's see.
It's pretty sure they were playing.
Yankees
They won because
shut out
they
the
shut out
Giants
the
again.
Giants.
Yeah.
And Judge hit a
Miami
home
beat
run.
Colorado 3-1. 2-1, sorry.
2-1, yeah.
Oh my
Braves.
God.
Braves
Royals
shut out.
couldn't find one.
Braves shut out, and then the Blue Jays beat the A's. Everything else is early in the games. Tigers Padres is a nice little series to start off the season. by the
World
way.
Series preview.
Yeah, could be.
Speaking of Tigers, Tiger Woods, you fucking idiot. Sorry.
Oh, God.
All that hype for this year, and for what, man? I'm so pissed. I know he's
Speaking of
what?
Tigers.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say you're wrong, but goddamn.
I know he's 50, but fuck.
That's hilarious.
Still think about that Masters win all the time.
That was magical.
All right, so now we're switching to us talking about our golf. All right, this is what
We're gonna talk.
Tyler
everything
can
but
vouch.
baseball.
Tyler can vouch. I had a great front nine the other day.
You did.
And
You did.
it sounded like you did fine, and when you started
got
to
hurt.
not do well, it was understandable. So
Yes, that was
Yeah.
100%.
and I've been
Was.
doing nothing but typing up to Tyler how I've been going to the driving range religiously if I can after work. So I go like
Yes.
3 or 4 times a week, and so I'm at the point now where it's like I am so ready for my driving range game to not translate over to an actual golf game, and I just fall apart. That was low as fuck.
They don't
They
have
have
it.
any
They don't have
challenger
it.
left?
They don't have it. They don't have it.
Because they lost both. The catcher screwed up both of them
Yep.
with 2 really bad challenges.
They should have a. Oh my God, this is so low. I don't know.
He pulled it up, but
They
maybe
should
not as
have.
low as originally thought.
They should have like the challenges on the graphic, like the NFL does with timeouts,
Yep.
so I know who has what left.
By the way, before we get too far off the golf topic, so I'm working on getting my handicap officially because I just
I'm going to by the end of the year because I don't know what my
Yeah.
scores have been recently enough to.
Well, so I'll tell you that Oh, boys, I got some work to do. I did. I will
Just
say
tell me
it's,
this much: over under 40.
it's under. It's under. But it just so I don't have it official yet. I gotta pay for it still. But I got like the estimated range that you can do on the USGA app before you like officially get it. But they have all my scores, so they can give it to me as soon as I give them the money. But yeah, 35 to 40 is currently my handicap range that
I was going to say
they'll probably
mine's-
give me.
I was gonna ask if they had a range high enough for your handicap.
Well, it's so here's the problem. The answer is to that yes, and the answer is 50. So
Wow.
it's not.
Is that
yeah,
the highest
so
value?
that's my understanding is that USGA goes up to 50 for handicaps.
That's crazy.
My
And I think that
guess
kind of
is
makes sense because you're getting really close to like, okay,
Yeah.
you are like double bogey or double parring every goddamn hole with 50 handicaps. So like,
Yeah.
Right. No, I feel like I probably am in between 25 and 30.
I feel.
Oh, I think you're lower than that. I think
yeah,
we're probably like between
Well, for-
15 and 20, I would say.
I would say so.
Well,
too.
wouldn't I? So isn't it that for golf, the way you figure it is in a sense that a handicap number is like your number over par or something? Or am I wrong in saying that?
So no, you're not wrong. The problem is that like the calculation in which they get there is not the most revealed thing for obvious reasons. They want your money for it, so like they're not gonna tell you. But
Because of slope scores for different courses and whatnot, how
and that too.
weights
Yeah,
things.
there's so much. So, but essentially, yeah, because the whole point of getting the handicap is like you become a member of the USGA. Like I can go compete. Like as soon as I get my membership, I can go fucking compete. And then my handicap is considered in competition so that I'm at somewhat of a level
Right.
playing field with whoever I'm playing against.
I mean, I still think Tyler's is over me with his handicap, but I mean, I'm probably within a ballpark. If he's 15, then I would say I'm probably more like 20, but maybe it's closer.
I think you're lower than Tyler.
I'm not.
Not
lower
by
than
much.
Tyler.
Not
He
by
always-
much. Not by
But
much.
I mean, I've beaten Ty, but he usually beats me by, I'd say, around 5, 6 strokes or so. At least last
Is
year.
it
felt
really that
way.
much?
I don't know.
I just feel like your long game's too good most of the time compared to Tyler's.
I hear this new and improved Will might be shooting in the 80s this year.
I was telling Ty, my hope this year, based on if I can translate what I've been practicing, is to shoot regularly again between 95 and 100. And if it truly is like as good as I hope it can be, then like I'm in the 90 to 95 range and break 90 at least once this year.
Yep.
So, I mean, I got the new putter, so I've wasted all this money. And so,
My putting, I think, is going to be my strong suit this year. It's just getting onto the fucking green that is my issue.
I just need to not overswing, and then everything will
Yeah.
translate okay.
I am seriously considering taking my driver out of my bag before I even go to a fucking course anymore, just so that because I cannot.
I need to work with you, the
Anything
driver,
good
to see
with
if
it.
we can. I think I
It's
have
driving
ideas.
me crazy.
So I started doing something recently when I was at the range, and it worked. And I may not be hitting it quite as far as I could, but I'm doing it's nice and easy and it works, and it's all about focusing on taking it back really high and then releasing it really low.
I think my issue is that I'm hitching somewhere. Like I'm doing something up here on the back, like that. When I'm
So the
coming down.
biggest thing for me, and this is where everyone we're going to lose who's, if there was any human being watching this, you're
Yeah,
gone.
sorry.
and
There
that's
was
fine.
somebody saying that we should be on ESPN earlier, so shout out that guy.
No.
Good. I mean, I agree.
Yeah.
We're better than them. ESPN is trash now. But no. So the thing what I think I've decided this year is that my baseball swing was affecting me a lot more than I realized, and the result is probably I'm still doing way too much with my hands and not enough full body swinging. But I at least have control right now that I'm okay. But my big thing was I was trying to avoid when I lead with my hips early right now, the way my hands follow, it's either that's when I'm slicing it or I leave the club face too open and I'm hitting it off to the right. And what I'm trying to do is make sure that when I go to follow through, I'm kind of leading with my hands first, or at least I start that movement before I start the hips.
Yeah.
And so this way things are a little bit more closed up when I do make contact, and it's not like completely opened all the way. Like I said, is this wrong? Probably, but at least the control that I have right now is there, and it's fairly consistent through like all the clubs. And I actually have a routine I do at the range now. I use my pitching wedge and I hit there's a net that's about 56. There's a net or a couple nets that are about 50, 60 yards out, and I hit my pitching wedge about 10 times. I get 10 balls, and I just try to aim near the net. Then I take my 56, and there's a dirt patch about 25 yards out, and I aim to hit that with the 56. And then I take my 9-iron, and I actually only swing the 9-iron almost like I'm putting it to try to hit it about 15 yards or so in case you have those instances where you want it to roll near the edge. And then from there, I take like a low iron or two, and I hit about 5 swings. I take a long iron and do about 5 or so swings, and then I take but then the wood and the driver were the ones I was working with for a while. And if I'm gonna, I hate that my computer right now that I'm using my hands because of my camera realizes I'm using my hands, and it's giving me a pop-up suggestion of add effects using hand gestures. I hate that.
Oh yeah, just like because you
And I
can
know
do this,
because
I think.
yes, I've seen this. I was in a Zoom meeting once, and someone had it activated, and they showed, and they did things, and then suddenly effects happened, and it was weird.
By the way,
But
Mac OS has a feature where like it'll follow your fucking face if you turn
I
it on.
know.
Yeah, that's weird looking.
But anyway, but recently I was trying to do more with my driver and my 3-wood because those were the 2 clubs I was having issues with. And I'm better with the 3-wood. That's still the one that's probably still needs a little bit of tweaking. But the driver last time I like solely focused on that, and that's when I finally was able to get into a pattern where I was staying slow enough and I was able to constantly repeat the pattern. And after a couple, like 5 swings of hitting it pretty good, I'd try a couple of trying to hit it harder using the same pattern, and I'd end up slicing it. And then I would go back to what I did. So I was able to kind of correct it once I would do something that would mess it up, which kind of showed me what was working and what wasn't. So that's why I'm like, I've done about as much as I feel like I can at a range to truly get to where I want to be on the course. I just need to get there to figure out how bad my putting game is and what else, I guess, from a short game sense, I need to do at certain points. But I have a good foundation to start golfing, which is why I was like, I want to golf Easter weekend, but it's gonna rain.
Yeah, my my current problem is that I think I'm too much of a tree hugger, and that's allowing me to just every ball. Now
Yeah,
I've
and
hugged
what
them so
happened?
much that they give it back to me, but I
Yeah,
don't
it's
want it to be there in
amazing.
the first place.
It's amazing your relationship with trees and golf. Like, I've never seen someone hit it into the trees as much as you do, and I've never seen someone that the trees forgave as much as you do.
By the way,
Like,
I gotta say, because me and Tyler were at a wedding recently down in North Carolina, and we had our first round of the season. And we golfed with somebody that we haven't golfed with before, but we're friends with. And dude, anytime there is someone that we haven't golfed with before, Tyler is so quick and just will tell anyone who will listen that, like, watch this shit. He's gonna hit into the fucking trees and it's gonna come back out because he just has that look, I guess. Like, he is so ass mad about the whole thing. It is so goddamn funny.
To be
every
fair,
single time.
To be fair to the trees, I don't think they expect. I don't think your shit literally curves at them at like an angle that like is basically like if you lined up at the tree and hit it right at the tree. So like that's why it's coming back. So like to be fair to them, but goddamn, yeah, you're right. I'll tell anybody who listen. Absolutely.
My God. It was so early in the morning, and you're like, Matt, you're not gonna fucking believe this.
That's definitely a
was like-
strike.
But it doesn't matter. I mean, it doesn't matter. You can't challenge.
Strike.
Get out of here, Pee Wee.
Yeah, you were definitely all right talking earlier about like the tactics of this, because like, God, already like there's been a couple times where
Yeah,
they
they're
definitely
paying for
want
it
the
now.
challenge.
Well, their catcher screwed them in the first inning by challenging that one call, and it was 2 inches low. Like, it wasn't even close.
Yeah.
Which,
Altuve does that often when he thinks he's walked. He'll get out quick, almost like a convince tactic of like, oh, I bet you I could charm the umpire into thinking that it was 100% a walk.
Here's another stat, by the way. You know how like framing has become a stat? I wonder if there's going to be a stat for like how many successful catcher challenges and like.
oh, absolutely.
Yeah, not even a stat for it, but like you know how like they put a value on framing, like they're probably gonna put like a value on that too.
No, absolutely, and that if anything, that's going to be a good thing for a team to let you know. All right, here's who should challenge for you.
Yeah,
Yeah, so there's a list of allowed players. Wish you could say bringing this back just a little bit. I mean, they still got a big lead to conquer here. This has been a fairly low-scoring game.
I'll tell you what, this does not feel like Manfred Bar.
Podcast.
Ball.
This one has been,
Ooh.
or it's going to be a 3-hour game, which I'm for. Maybe other games I prefer to be 3 hours, because I don't give a crap
Every
about
Phillies
either
game
of
I
these
go
teams.
to.
Yeah. Yeah, if I'm spending like the cheapest tickets are like $60, I want my money's worth.
Definitely hitting on minor leagues again this year. That's definitely.
Oh, I'm already thinking about times to go to Blue Rocks games.
Yep.
Easter weekend was actually a possibility. It was their home opener.
I mean, it's
next
just
Friday.
it's so cheap and
But
it's
it's raining.
so fun.
Yeah, that's the thing. If I lived closer to a minor league stadium, like the Blue Rocks, you can get seats on the field level, and
Rows
they're like
up.
20
Yeah.
bucks, and parking's
Yeah.
free. Like
Yeah.
for nowadays to buy a movie ticket, it's $16.
Yeah, I live near the Blue Rocks, and it's I don't like the Nats, but they're near, and so I'll usually try to go there, especially when the Blue Claws come around. So,
And I think
I'll
they
just
come
go to
twice
games.
this year.
Yeah, I think so too.
But
But yeah, I'll go to games because it's fucking baseball, and I'll go watch baseball. And it's
Voice
usually
of
$20
Ted
tickets, and
Barrett, thank God we're not listening to this broadcast.
bro, I need Angel on media ASAP.
The Angel Hernandez Joe West broadcast.
He has the opportunity to do the funniest thing ever and either start a podcast or get an ESPN show. Like
Angels in the
come on.
outfield starring Angel Hernandez.
It's gonna be so garbage. Oh, by the way, CJ Buckner will also be a frequent third. But it just
CB Buckner. Nice try.
CB Buckner. Sorry, CJ. Bro, come on, like give it to me. Like I need to watch this dumpster fire of a show happen.
Hmm.
Joe West,
He probably has a podcast, if we're honest. It's
With
probably some
pro-
country thing.
I don't know, man. I feel like he would say something way out of line on a podcast.
I think he's too stupid to know how to not too stupid. He's too old
No,
to know how to
you're right.
podcast.
No, you were right the first time. I mean, you're probably right about both things, but you were right about being too stupid. Like, I don't even need to meet the man. Am I being disrespectful? Maybe. I don't care. From the words of, what's his name from Stranger Things, suck my fat one, right?
Yes. Bitchin', I would even say.
The line of or the next line of this generation. That was a walk and a half, and they actually called it. That's a first.
Wow. I didn't even think it was still in the rule book. Fuck me.
Will said we were going to get distracted by the basketball games. Just saying.
We've
knew it
covered
would
so
happen.
many baseball topics today. This is
This has been the most inclusive sports podcast ever. Between the Broncos, baseball, March Madness, golf, like, come on,
And
let's
now-
talk about curling.
We talked about the 76ers.
Yeah, sports stadiums in the making, minor league baseball.
Melissa Leo is still my hero after those Olympics, by the way, I gotta say.
We could talk about how bad the parking's going to be for the World Cup. That, like,
Bro, look, again,
What?
I work
Yeah.
at the city. Thank God there's not going to be as much of a reason for me to drive into the city anymore in a few months. So I literally will be, plane, trains, and automobiles. I'm just the trains. All right, I'm just fucking like I will consider no other form of transportation to get into that city because holy Christ, they're already making a spectacle out of it in Center City. Like you go to City Hall now and they got like these like big ass countdown signs and everything under the sign, and then on the Schuylkill there's fucking World Cup advertisements everywhere. So they're ready for a good time, and we are in a good enough area for a lot of fans of different teams to travel. So
I forget what games the Philly got. I want to say one of them
forget
was like
too.
Columbia or something, which, if that's the case, that's going to be a fucking
Bruh.
party.
Bro, you are not going to be able to get into city from like 6 p.m. the day before the game till game time, and then maybe even a whole 12 hours after, just
Yeah.
depending on if they win or lose. Like, oh my god, Columbia, one of those teams.
I mean, really, any South
Because-
American team
True.
would be a party.
Speaking of soccer, the Unions suck right now. My god. I was happy this year. I talked about this ton off air recently. Is that so? The MLS and in line also with Apple TV have finally figured out that people don't like subscriptions, and what they really don't like is having a subscription within a subscription to watch something that is
UConn was dumb on that.
like. So Apple TV used to have the MLS season pass, so you'd have to get Apple TV and then pay like $200 extra to watch every MLS game, and there wasn't really a good homer package if you just wanted to buy one team. So this year they're like, we are the fifth of four of the big four in sports in the United States, and we need more eyes. Let's remove that season pass entirely, and they did that, and now like I can actually watch the Union. I'm enjoying it. Well, I'm enjoying
you're
that
not.
I am enjoying that I am getting to watch them. I'm not enjoying the product that's on the fucking field.
I will say it
Well-
was so weird to see, like, you go on the ESPN app and it says, like, where all the baseball games are on, and, like, fucking Netflix, NBC, like, it's so weird to see that still. Like, that's, NBC has the right, rights now and stuff like that. Peacock, like, seeing games on Peacock, like, that's so weird.
I will say right now, the
Netflix's
baseball
score
game-
bug was trash.
Yeah,
It was.
not good.
but it was better than what NBC Sports Philly
Oh
has.
my god. Well, it's funny because NBC National has a new bug this year, and they went back to having the logos. The only difference is they're still avoiding poop because they're doing logo, score. So, dude, I'm telling you, that came up in a meeting. That came up in a
Oh, yeah,
fucking
for
meeting.
sure.
Yeah,
Like,
the internet loved poop, and the one person that had
we can't have fun.
the one person
would
that
the
voice mattered the most
sponsors think?
heard it. Right? Yeah. But no, right now in the Astros game, a home run ties it.
That's true. And we should
I'm
care
sorry,
about this game.
fucking Christ.
The baseball podcast, and we're talking about poop.
Listen, this was the only time we could really do a stream this week. This was like the last day that I really wanted to do, but it was the only day we could do. I did not want to watch this fucking game.
I'm glad we're in the same boat.
I'm glad that like there's at least action and it's entertaining, like because there's 8 hits, and now there's cool situation in the 8th we got here, but like out of all the games this week, this was not on my list. Like,
We could have
It was
watched
the only one we
Marlins.
could do.
We could have watched Marlins Rockies.
Oh,
no,
God.
that was worse somehow. Between shit and flaming shit, fucking A, man. This guy looks like a combination of Wheeler and Craig Kimbrell.
Oh, nice pitch.
Nice pitch.
Just like that, the Astros flail again. Angels could be the best team in baseball after
You
first
shut
three-
your mouth.
after the first 3 games or first 3 days.
The Astros will be good for like 30 games and then figure it not, just be like, you know what if we tanked? Like, what if we just like not, you know? I cannot believe it took away that error the more I look at this.
It's because of just, I don't know. I can't even tell
Oh,
you.
it was just out of his reach.
Maybe that should be one of our.
A major league shortstop couldn't make that play.
Maybe that should be one of our episode ideas that we do is talk about what is scorekeeping in MLB baseball and how does it happen. Not just from the scorekeeping sense, but how it gets overturned. Because that's the crap that it is. Like, the fact that it was an error and then it was overturned. Like, first of all, who was responsible? Was it just simply the person who reviewed it? But then there's also the ones where after a game ends, stuff will get overturned. And I know that's the league. But then it's like, well, what's the criteria nowadays? And how has it changed? Because it's just frustrating watching it and seeing some crap like that get called a single when there's not a chance in hell it should be.
You know what? I think there is a game that kind of exists for this, but I want us to find a game where we can basically be the umps. Like we gotta we can make calls like that and see how right we are. And like it would use some like really cool engine to.
Doesn't the latest MLB The Show game have an up mode?
Does it? I
thought it.
Bro, by the way, real quick about that game. They showed like an ad for it like an hour ago, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, are we in 2012? What the fuck am I looking
I
at?
know, dude. So bad.
Like, are you serious?
They used to have the best graphics in sports, and now they have the worst.
Yeah. Like, Madden looks really good. EAFC has been good the past couple of, I say good, visually. EAFC. Tyler, what happened to us, bro? Playing duels in the AFC is like, holy Christ.
It's not an option anymore. It's too tilting.
Dude, we were pretty good. Like the past couple of years we've been playing. We don't even play that much. But like we would do pretty good whenever we would play. We'd probably, finish our sessions mostly in the win column. But like we tried out the new one when it came out, and we tried multiple times, and even when we would get a lead, it would just fall apart at the seams, and it was just so goddamn tilting. Like, you thought defenders were bad in the last one. You haven't seen anything yet, girl. Like, oh my Lord almighty. I have never seen the like. You could tell the goodbye.
Neto.
Yep.
That shit got hung.
Well, safe to say, barring a miracle, this game is probably over.
This is the Angels, so you never know. But
that's true. Then they did just pull up the graphics, like, hey, just so you know, like, yeah, the Angels look good right now, but they have been ass for like 10 years now. By the way, this team had Shohei Ohtani. There's a subset of fans that definitely don't know that Shohei Ohtani was an Angel at one point, by the way.
Oh, here, I'm going to piss off a bunch of people. Shohei Ohtani sucks. Okay, now we're going to be, we're going to be on everything. But you piss off Shohei and the cult comes after you.
Here's a all sports question that's actually, baseball is in it, though. Is Artie Moreno the worst owner in all of professional sports?
I want to know what the Pirates fan has to say.
Well, I'm too biased to give an opinion on this.
If I speak, I'm in big trouble. I'm gonna sit this one out.
My short answer is I would say yes. He's one of the worst.
I'm gonna sit this one out. I got too much skin in the game. Oh, nice catch, kid.
Oh God, that's funny. Tell you what would make me pretty happy right now. A Mikey Moonshot.
It'd be good. That kid actually made it a great catch.
Oh, and an Angels fan too. That's sick.
Yeah. Attaboy, kid. Attaboy, kid. No! Fucking run away with it? Oh, he's just looking at it.
I don't want to be on TV.
How did he catch it? He can barely see over the railing.
That's because he's sitting.
Using his fucking legs.
Doesn't look like the Angels have had very powerful shortstops in their history.
Shocker.
Does that catch the catcher on that? I don't know.
I thought it did, but
What are you guys' thoughts when it comes to the like typical, like the arguments that people make about like, oh, third baseman needs to put up said numbers or whatever, or like your first baseman needs to do this, because it's one of my least favorite arguments that I see when it's like, well, no, the third baseman or the first baseman don't have to be the power guys of your team. It can be your shortstop and your second baseman. You just need, like everything balanced out type of thing. So if my first baseman wants to steal 60 bases and strike out 20 times and hit 290, but my second baseman is going to hit 45 home runs, like I have no problem with that.
is that still a conversation? Like
I heard it not long ago.
It definitely is.
It absolutely still
what
is.
fucking grounds? I don't care if my fucking third baseman is 6'9". Like bruh. Like I don't give a shit.
The problem comes in the fact that it's not but it's not so much that it's like, oh, I need production from this area for my team to be successful. It's that like now coming up through the system, like players are kind of like based on an archetype, and like that's how they're like kind of drafted and stuff like that.
That's
and it's
archaic.
And it's like if you play first base in high school but you don't have any power, you're probably not going to a D1 school. Like, you know what I mean? And like I think that's kind of stupid. If hey, I'm a first baseman in high school, I get on base like half the time, but I don't really hit for power. It's like, well, but and then you can say, but I'm like 6'5". It's like, well, you're just kind of just screwed as a player, aren't you? Like,
This has been stupid for the past 10 years in modern baseball. This has been more stupid when DH was universal. Like it really doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
Like in any capacity. Like at all. Like fuck, man. I don't. Why? Who? Show yourselves. I need to know which one of you, who is possibly still arguing this. I could grant you if you're an old timer of like, arguing the pitch clock, arguing the fucking ABS system, like that shit. Shout out my dad, by the way. I love you, man. But like,
all right, there we go. I was about to call your dad out, but I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do that.
The fucking white hair ass. But like, fucking, like, what do you mean everybody has to be a fucking archetype, man? What was Randy Johnson to you?
Well, pitchers are different, but like,
Slendy man.
It's just annoying. I get why you want bigger players at first base. That all makes sense.
When there wasn't universal DH.
No, but I'm saying
like from a height standpoint.
Yeah, from a height. Like,
it means it's a bigger target, literally. From like,
yeah.
I mean, it's not necessity, but yeah, if you're a taller first baseman, theoretically can give you more of a better target when it comes to fielding balls. But that's again, if he's a good enough fielder.
That's the only
made a school difference at that point.
That's the only point that it's like, okay, whatever. But like again, once you like actually get to the league, whatever, like I don't care where my production's coming from,
bro.
Like,
if my first baseman is hitting 310 and he's like 5'7", I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, that's fine.
Are you serious?
Yeah, Randy Johnson should have been a first baseman. That's what we're saying.
It would be pretty funny to see out.
But we're okay
first.
But we're okay with Aaron Judge in the outfield in center.
No, he needs to be your second baseman.
Yeah, that sounds like a hot corner or a second baseman player if I've ever seen one.
To be fair, when O'Neal Cruz went to shortstop, and I guess for that matter, Ellie De La Cruz as well. They're like, God damn, they got have we ever seen 1-6-7 shortstop, and now we got two of them in the same division.
You also know that both of them, when they were shortstops at the same time, were like the two worst defensive shortstops in baseball.
Yep.
And
They
now,
were the two hardest throwing shortstops, but they were the two worst.
Oh,
defensive.
great! I can
And now
I
they
can
don't-
get it from 6 to first.
and now the only thing that's changed is now one's the worst defensive shortstop and one's the worst defensive center fielder. So that's the only difference.
We're only a day into the season.
I hate baseball. What are we doing? Like, what are we talking about?
Oh my god.
I'm so glad this is going to control my mood for the next 6 months. This is what I live for.
This is why like I'm switching sports again. This is why I'm glad Derrick Henry exists. We needed a running back that wasn't, below 6 foot and can, get through the holes and everything. No, we needed a fucking Mack truck that was running through the entirety of the defensive line and just fucking doing his thing. So, fucking hell, man.
That is true though. Football might be even worse than baseball with that in terms of like if you don't have a certain wingspan, like you can't play tackle. If you are over like 6'2", you're probably not playing corner. Like that I mean, I don't know. It's kind of the other thing with baseball too, and again, logistically I know why, but like no left-handed catchers, no left-handed third baseman. Like I get that, it makes sense, but it's weird to me still.
But I don't know. To me, at this point, I even feel like those caveats don't have as much of an impact as they used to. I feel like it wouldn't matter nearly as much.
Yeah, I don't know. It would be fucking weird to see a left-handed catcher. I'll say that.
I agree, but do we really think that difference is going to be that bad? I don't think so.
It'll be an eyesore. I'll tell you that much.
You're different. Fuck this guy. Oh man, I gotta say, like, the only reason I even like the combine anymore for the NFL is like, it's actually scary that we have offensive linemen running 4.9s.
Yeah, it's true.
Like, what do you mean that this 320-pound, 6'2" dude who is like a 3-year vet at some Big Ten or SEC college is running a 4.9? What the fuck are we talking about? Go back to your barbells and keep doing that shit. You goddamn refrigerator. What the fuck?
All right, Astros got 3 outs to get 4 runs, and I'm going to be honest, I don't think they do it.
Nope.
I don't think so.
It would be pretty fun if they did.
So this is where we need John with the Vegas odds.
I got you.
Nope, you're not John.
I'm
Choose
not
something else
John.
other than Vegas.
Okay, so the O's have a plus 1,500% chance of winning Rose, and I don't know. I just think that they do have a chance if everything just goes perfectly.
Oh God, Bobby! Look who it is!
Wait a second!
I take it back. The Astros are gonna win. Oh no!
Oh, I just got flashbacks.
Oh no!
Oh!
Oh no, that's hilarious.
Oh
my
my
God! Out of
God.
all the people on your roster, you choose
And
that
he's
shit for brains.
But he's gonna get a win out. Actually, I shouldn't say that.
It's
He
gonna be
might
1,
be
2,
getting
3.
a win out of this.
Oh
Look
my
at that,
god,
he's swinging
what
at
are
the
you?
crap he's swinging at?
Oh my God! I forgot he was on this goddamn team. Son
So
of a
did I.
bitch.
But I saw that face and
Right.
my brain
Oh
went,
my
no!
That comedic timing wouldn't have been anything.
I don't know what sound came out of me in that moment. Look at these stats! 64 games and a 7.8.
Oh my God!
Oh my God! We might have been able to pick up a little leaguer and he would have been better. Holy
my.
shit! Who won the Little League World Series last year? What the fuck? I knew he was bad, but usually it's okay, I thought he was terrible, but it's because he blew one situation and he pitched like a 4. This motherfucker pitched a 7.8 in 60 games.
Yeah, no, it was
It's
insane how
60
bad.
games. Help! Why are you still in the majors? What the fuck are you doing? And the Angels chose you?
bothers
has
my mental
anybody in the
breakdown.
minor leagues? Nobody. Sorry.
Where your wife and like her company are like, are you dead?
I don't know if they're still fucking here, but like, oh, it's not even fucking Bryce Matthews anymore. My bad.
Oh, that was funny.
Oh my god.
And he
that fucking
struck out.
hurt.
I don't think a single pitch was in the strike zone that entire at bat.
That noise that you made was crazy.
It was a jump scare. It's like I'm fucking playing until dawn again. Like fuck. No, Apple TV's fucking glazing this guy, bro. Shut up.
Oh, you hear the game. Glad we don't.
Yeah, I know, and I turned it down too earlier.
I'm glad we don't hear it. It's so bad, the broadcast.
Oh my
Actually, Bobby,
god.
you've been listening. What's the broadcast report? How good have they been?
They were talking about hot dogs earlier.
Oh, I love them already.
I love me a glizzy.
The only person who's allowed to talk about stadium food is Taryn Hatcher, and she's not even with NBC anymore.
That's true.
Here we go. It started off the wall. I'm just kidding.
One out away.
Against the worst pitcher in mankind.
Jordan
You
Romano
should feel
could have
happy for
a
yourself.
0.00 ERA after this game.
This isn't a save though, right? Wait.
No,
No.
No, it's not a save.
which is why he's in there.
Exactly. I was going to say, they were like, hell no. Oh, Jordan's about to take him 650. Oh, no.
Just gets a hanging curveball.
Boom. Romano, I found your worst nightmare.
Strike one.
60.
You know, I'm glad the Phillies didn't win the World Series last year because that meant they would have given this guy a ring.
Oh, no, I'm on the opposite end of this. If my team wins a championship, I don't give a fuck what they do the following season.
He just almost broke Logan O'Hoppy's arm trying to reach that.
It's all right. He obviously, like,
He already got his
Cap.
already got his taint broken earlier, so
bruh.
Another curve in the dirt, and it's just no kids.
the only thing that would make this guy better if he wore number 69 instead of 68.
I think that's the joke. is that
Oh,
it's 60.
sawed him off. Why did he look at the bat like that?
I think you should use that bat.
Cork
to hit.
in it.
Astros down to their left. Dude, that was like not even on the hands. Like, what the hell? That
Yeah.
like broke.
Like, broke at the top of the grip.
Jordan Romano looking for the perfect 1-2-3 inning in his Angels debut. I think. I don't think he pitched the other day or yesterday.
Hell no,
Whenever they played.
Hell no,
I'm so glad your graphic is behind.
Me too.
What the fuck?
Oh, struck him out with some absolute filth.
This was the worst pitching performance I've ever seen, and somehow he gets away with nothing.
And the Angels
God.
improved to 2-0 on the young season. Mikey Moonshots, is he
The
back?
fact that you were on the same team as that guy, God, be a man and kick him out of the clubhouse. Do it now before your season completely falls apart.
You know what to do, boys. Oh,
And with that, a long night of baseball and getting back into the swing of things. It has been a long time. We've missed everybody. But yeah, man, baseball is back and it is awesome. And as we said, look out for those format changes in the future and live streams as well. We'll probably pick some, hopefully
We'll probably pick a game in a couple weeks to do it
Better-
on live stream.
better on paper matchup than this, I would imagine.
If everyone's schedules line up.
True.
I blame Tyler for this one.
I mean, that's crazy.
It's not my fault you can't keep your schedule straight.
But yeah, with that, we are going to end it there. Thank you very much for watching. And God, it's been so long. I kind of forget my
You're
outro.
doing
to
it
be
wrong,
honest.
Bobby. What's the new way of doing it? The heart. I can't.
Will, you're getting
No.
dangerously close to throwing up gang signs.
We're gonna start doing random things and see what happens.
And with that, we will see you next time.
Next time.